Welcome everybody to our latest session of Empire of the Ghouls. So this is session number 2 of our new campaign. We will do a quick recap of what occurred last week and then we'll get started with today's session. So team, session 1 of course was you guys all coming together in the Rampant Roach, this kobold eatery. You guys all were coming here on news of a potential job being available to you, looking to make some coin and kind of learn more about what's going on in this area. You guys all arrived for your own reasons, found yourself in the Rampant Roach. Before too long you met the proprietor, a kobold by the name of Skirtle, who let you know after providing you guys with some food and beverages that he was the one hiring this job out, and primarily what he was looking to get is some bodyguards for his nephew Brick, who has some jobs that he has to do during the day, and that will make it where Skirtle, of course, being an older kobold, he doesn't leave the establishment much, and Brick being a younger kobold, he kind of has the grunt work, so he has to go out and take care of those kind of tasks. You guys all arrived, asked many questions, primarily, what does the job entail, the danger, that sort of thing, and after grilling Skirtle a little bit and enjoying some of his very lovely menu items and beverages and such, you guys then decided to take him up on this offer and follow Brick out into the city of Zobek and see what exactly it was he had to do. So for this first job, you guys, slept that night, woke up in the morning, found yourself at the Rampant Roach early in the morning, and then joined up with Brick, and he let you know that he had to track down between 2 and 4 good-sized giant rats in order to supply the food for the menu for the Rampant Roach today. So he let you guys know that. You guys, said, yep, again, you were up for this job. He took you guys out into the city of Zobek, and you guys moved through this area, kind of closer to the Kobold Ghetto. Remember, the Rampant Roach isn't actually in the Kobold Ghetto. It's kind of on the outskirts. So he took you closer towards the Kobold Ghetto and then found an entrance into the cartways there. And as a reminder, the cartways are sort of this ancient mining tunnel that is it's not really used for mining anymore, but it's just sort of a part of the history of the city. And sometimes it's used for nefarious purposes or illicit dealings, those types of things. So you guys found yourself under there in the cartways, and it wasn't too long after entering the cartways that you guys found yourself at this sort of pinch point as you were making your way east down this set of stairs, found yourself to an open hallway. We had Glory out front and was able to spot this big room that's just filled with debris, just garbage kind of everywhere. And before too long, he was also able to spot some traps in there. Inside this big pile of garbage, there were many traps. As again, he mentioned he was able to spot some, but in fact, there were 2 giant rats in a trap at that moment. And then there was a few goblins in this room as well, who it looked like were trying to extract the giant rats from the trap. Once they saw you guys, they essentially told you to bugger off. Glory indicated that no, those rats were his, and so this made the goblins a little bit more frisky, you might say. They called out for some assistance, and from the west then we had a very large goblin and 2 giant rats that were pets of his coming down to assist. So you guys found yourself in this tight area, this tight quarters for a battle. As you guys are moving through this pile of trash, many of you trying to get through there, spotting these traps, many of you stepping into those traps, finding that they did a little bit of damage and then made you move a lot slower as you had to drag the trap through the pile of trash as you tried to move. You guys slowly were able to defeat these goblins, kind of push them back. You guys were taking several wounds, particularly our gnomish friend, who was healed multiple times. You guys pushed back towards the open corridor here, eventually found yourself face to face with this larger goblin who was trying to dish out the hurt, but eventually you guys did manage to defeat him, his pet rats, and the minion goblins as well, and this sufficed for what Brick needed to get, which was, again, 2 to 4 medium-sized portions of giant rat to serve on the menu. You guys did head up into what looked almost like the Goblin Lord's lair. You kind of searched around there a little bit, found a few odds and ends that were worth a little bit of coin in one of the compartment areas. And then with that having been completed, and after having suffered many wounds, you guys decided to exit out of here, make your way back to the Rampant Roach, and enjoy some of that free food and drink for life that Skirtle has promised you. After you guys did that, you guys had some time to enjoy yourselves there. It was still early in the day, but the next job wasn't going to start until the next morning. So you guys each had some time kind of on your own to do what you'd like in the city of Zobek before, when we pick up on this session, it will be the first day or I should say, it'll be early in the morning of this day as you guys return to the Rampant Roach to meet up with Brick to see what jobs he has for you guys today. So that is my quick recap. Is there anything I missed there that anybody would like to add?
Yeah, I got a couple of things, but I'll say one of them. Let's go with this one. When we walked in at the Rampant Roach, Skirtle was talking in Draconic to another kobold and handed him the malted lava cake, and in Draconic says, make sure you get this to the Kobold King while it's still warm. So there's he's like tending to a Kobold King somewhere in here, or we don't know if the king's visiting or if he actually lives here.
Excellent addition. And yeah, so for all of the newer players, what I like to do here with recaps is if you add something that is meaningful that I didn't mention in the recap, I go ahead and throw heroic inspiration your way. So Gesh, go ahead and award yourself heroic inspiration.
And do you have the name, Adam? Did you give it to us?
The name of what?
The Kobold King.
I would have to double check. I have the name, of course, but I can't remember because that was in the foreign language of Draconic, whether that was posted or not. I can double check to see if that was in there. It was not. So no, you have not gotten the actual name of the Kobold King. Is there anybody else? Yeah, go ahead, James.
The only thing I have to add is we did actually find quite a bit of loot as well, and I'm throwing this out there because I have it written down here, and we need to divvy it up a little bit because we were told that the rest of the day after we completed the job was sort of free time, and I believe we were told that would be the time that we sold those blank signet rings, and I believe a crystal orb that we Gesh found as well.
Yes, yep. So you did find some odds and ends and sell those things. So this is one of those situations where I'd say that's interesting information. Add probably not super meaningful or add anything that might be impactful to the story.
I just want, I don't know. I just want to throw it out there just so everyone remembers that like I have this in a note right here, and it needs to be divvied out, and we could talk about that. But I want everyone to be aware of that as well.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, good to bring up. Yeah, like I say, I just don't want anybody to feel bad if I'm like, no, that's not inspiration worthy. But hopefully you see the difference, and obviously as more of these pop up, they'll probably be more obvious. All right. Anybody else have anything they'd like to add that's meaningful?
Yeah, I can add a couple things. First off, the Kobold King is named Cragclaw. Because I think we asked Squirtle, or whatever his name is, Sturtle, what his name was. So he told us, because he told us we would get a favor from him, basically, if we helped him out.
All right, so it wasn't part of the pre-planned templated Draconic language, but yes, if you heard that name Kodo Cragclaw, then clearly, yes, he did tell you. Of course, he knows the name of the king, so that's just my memory failing me there, but yes, he would have told you that.
Yeah, and then the other thing I had was that we found out that the cartways were like really dangerous, and that there were, I think they said, grave robbers down there that we had to watch out for.
Yes, that was one of the random rumors that you guys got after you guys were socializing with some of the folks there in the Rampant Roach. So yeah, go ahead and take heroic inspiration, Vigo.
I think the one thing I can add is for that is the whole reason for this job is that that Brick needs us as bodyguards is because we presume he has been framed by for a missing person case where the blacksmith's daughter has gone missing and his knife was found with the blacksmith.
Excellent. There we go. Yes, take heroic inspiration as well, Shy. Okay, looking to see if anybody else has anything more to add. I'll give just a couple more seconds. Okay, seeing nothing, then we will get underway. And I see Bill has joined us. Welcome, Bill. Let's go ahead and get you guys over to the Rampant Roach. All right, guys. So it is early morning the next day. I don't know that you guys necessarily will care, but I did, for this campaign, look up like the calendar for this world, the world of Midgard. So as far as like the day and so forth, you guys are on the 15th of the month of sowing, which is the second month of spring here in Midgard. So not that necessarily all that impactful, but just give you a little bit of setting specific info. So you guys arrive here in the morning, come back up towards the counter where you can see Skirtle is once again busy at work, kind of dishing out different food and stuff. Obviously the patrons here have probably shifted a bit, so probably our good friend the Dragonborn's not here at the moment, so we'll notice as his token kind of vanishes. These other two individuals, however, do look to be like the same folks from the previous night. Seems like they might be what you call regulars. You guys are here, and essentially Brick has said that he's just, chatting with Skick and Skack, and once you guys are ready to go, let him know. It is probably about 8 a.m. at this point.
They really are regulars.
Do you think they just slept here?
I wouldn't. Oh, wait, I gotta do my voice. I wouldn't.
Well, at least we can be assured there's no rats in this place.
Except for the ones on the menu. Hey, Skirtle, something for that headache.
It's something for a headache. What do you want for a headache?
I don't know. Not sure if it's the accursed hour we're at, or what's going on. Just maybe whatever you recommend.
I don't think I really have much here for that. Oh, but one of the jobs that you're going to be doing with Brick today, you're going to go be visiting this alchemist guy. Ask him. I bet you he's got something that would help.
All right, sooner the better.
The stalactite dew is excellent.
Stalagmite.
Ah,
All depends on how it's brewed.
we do it upside down where I'm from.
You notice he kind of laughs a little bit as he's looking at you. All right, if there's nothing specific you guys wish to do here, you'll notice Brick seems a bit antsy in the corner, and as he sees you guys starting to move, he'll certainly get up and make his way over towards the door, and he's kind of like tapping his foot nervously.
All right, kid, where are we off to today?
Oh, yeah, follow me. I'll explain as we're on our way.
All right, as you guys make your way out of the rampant roach here, noticing the immediate vicinity just outside the building, noticing that there are some like carts and that kind of thing nearby. Looks like shopkeepers or folks, travelers, kind of have various things they've kind of set along the side. You do notice folks that kind of have a pretty close eye on these things, so almost as though they're guarded. Brick is going to lead you out into the greater Zobek city. All right, and as you're moving through the streets of Zobek here, you will notice he has a fairly slow gait as you're following him. Again, he's a pretty little dude, but as he's making his way through the streets here, he says, okay, so we got 2 jobs today, okay? I hope you guys are ready. You got food and drink and everything? Ready? You ready to go?
Are we leaving the city?
No, not that far. No. So we got 2 jobs. First one, and you see he pulls like from his side this pouch, and it's kind of awkwardly packed. It looks like a bag, but the inside of the bag it kind of has like a rectangular shape, and it's kind of like he's holding it at a bit of an awkward angle. He says, I have to deliver this to our old rat catcher. He doesn't work for us anymore, but good guy. So Uncle always sends him this specialty, and so we got to go down to closer to Lower Zobek for that. And then we got to go back into the cartways. I know you guys liked that so much last time.
What are we going there for again?
Well, Uncle Skirtle, his supplier for some of his goods that he needs for the restaurant is just gone. So he hasn't heard from him. He's on vacation or something. I don't know. But there's this other guy that we heard about that's down in the cartways that has some of this stuff too. So they kind of made an arrangement, and he's going to sell some of that stuff to Uncle Skirtle.
Who's the guy that's missing again?
Oh, he's not missing. He's just on vacation.
Oh, okay.
Where is he vacationing?
Lilyfur? You know it?
No.
Not important.
Better be down there than out here on these great streets. Why is it so bright?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It is. It's pretty bad.
What, you don't like the sun?
It's too bright for kobold eyes.
These aren't my normal working hours. Let's just leave it at that.
Well, I suggest we get a move on then.
All right, and you start doing just that, still moving through the city streets here, when a sound echoes overhead, and you notice several folks at the same time all sort of look up. As
Vigo also looks up.
Thunder crashes up ahead, and you start to hear the sound of rain beginning to fall.
Oh, I love the rain. So refreshing. Washes the streets clean.
Oh, yeah,
did
that's
we
great.
did we notice like, weather coming in, or was this just all of a sudden like something magical almost?
It doesn't seem magical. It was a little bit overcast this morning, right? But you guys were kind of focused on getting here to the Rampant Roach, so not necessarily totally out of the ordinary. But yeah, it seems almost like you could say a snap thunderstorm. All right, so you guys are moving through these tighter city streets, and you notice the paths that Brick takes you on. Certainly, these are not what you would consider to be the official paths, like the most, promenade, prominent walkways or main streets, that sort of thing. He's kind of pushing into these different areas. You guys move through this like row of homes or buildings after about 10 minutes or so of walking through the city. As you're pushing through this way, the corridors are getting pretty tight. I'd like to get an idea of like how you guys tend to walk in order. Think of this mostly as like a marching order kind of deal to get an idea of how you guys are moving about the city. So I'm going to move you guys to another map here that is going to give you the opportunity to adjust yourselves as far as marching order.
That's a little ominous.
I think I'd be out in front.
All right, so to give you an idea of the way you're coming and the way you're going, you guys kind of came this way and you're starting to go down this way. So if you want to be out in front, then yeah, one of these two. If you want to be more towards the back, it'd be back over in this area. And again, I want to try to give you guys enough information without revealing too much, right? But so this is like a building that you're right up against at the moment. This is an alleyway that's going back this way. This is another building that you're up against. Building. So yeah, you're in the thick of like downtown city streets kind of deal. So think of yourselves in like a pretty tight kind of area.
Yeah, and I'd say that's the only consideration for Vigo is he probably doesn't like being surrounded by all these people. So he would try to get as much space between him and anybody else as he could. But I know that might not be possible.
The only thing that Gesh is concerned about is getting robbed. So he's kept his coin purse by his coin purse, so to speak.
I think Zach kind of wants to stay in the middle so he can just look over the heads of people in both directions and then kind of see what's going on.
All right, I'm just kind of visualizing, waiting to see that no tokens move for, a good 5-10 seconds in a row, and then I'll assume you guys are all good.
Barnaby's good where he's at. He doesn't mind being up front. So.
All right, good deal. All right, I'm going to go ahead and lock the tokens, and then I'm going to remove this light barrier. All right, so as you're making your way through the city streets here, again, very tight corridors kind of deal. As you're getting to about here, Gloria, you're more out in front. Brick is kind of behind you, kind of directing you like, go that way. Yep, take a turn there. As you're kind of coming up and you get to this corner and you look back towards him to be like, which direction from here, you'll notice this man steps out in front of you and he's going to hold a hand up and he's going to say, whoa. You guys are coming back here pretty hot and quick. Hold your horses. Oh, see you're traveling with a kobold. Wow.
What people will do these days for money. I assume that's what it's for. Don't tell me you're all part of the circus.
I, good friend, have never been to a circus.
What? Who said that? Oh, that guy back there hiding behind the building? Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, the only jesters around here is the one that's in our way. We have business. Move along.
I'm sorry, but if you want to use these city pathways, which we keep and protect and make sure are safe, there is a fee. That's going to be 5 gold pieces. So go ahead and throw that right here in the palm of my hand, and we'll get you on going.
Tax these streets.
That's us. Yep, so we take care of them. Look how nice everything is back here, right? It's all nice and clean, no danger, no threats. That's because we watch over them. Can't ask the city guard to do that kind of stuff now, can you?
Adam, with the streets clean.
I mean, not overly so. I mean, they certainly don't look rubbish filled or nothing like the cartways down there, right? But you could say average city street.
How
City.
about this for a deal? You let us pass? We'll let you keep your teeth.
You notice he's going to kind of laugh a little bit. Well, go ahead and throw me an intimidation check here, Braddock. You'll notice he's looking at you and he's kind of chuckling a bit here. He says, yeah, well, you know what we'll say, just this one time, we're gonna let you pass. You're new. You look like maybe you don't know how things are done around here. So sure, we'll let you pass. Be my guest.
I'm gonna say, hey, Brooke,
Nice.
why don't you tell us next time if we're gonna be accosted like that again?
You're saying that to who?
Brick, quietly, in his little ear.
How did I know? I didn't know they'd be here.
Who are they?
I don't know.
I just shake my head. Say, you need to be more honest with us from going forward, okay, buddy?
He shrugs his shoulder.
Can I
Is there-
insight? I'm gonna insight that Adam and see if he knows more, please, if I can.
You're trying to insight Brick to see if he's telling the truth?
Yeah, if you know, I want to know if he's hiding stuff from me. From
Sure. Yeah.
quick interchange.
Go ahead and throw me an insight check. I would say you get the vibe he kind of thinks you're stupid for asking this question, but you don't think he's lying to you. He looks like he just doesn't know these people.
Do we notice like any like tattoos or symbols or anything on them that would like affiliate them with a gang?
Ooh, go ahead and throw me a perception check there, Zach. No, nothing that sticks out to you. Well, don't take all day now. Come on, go on. Get it going.
All right.
Let's go, everybody.
Good sir, who should we call you just in case we have any questions in regards to this area here next
Oh,
time?
I'm sure you won't. I'm sure you won't have any questions because you're going to get out of here as quickly as you can, aren't you?
That sounds good. I just wasn't sure who management was.
Hey, Brick, where are we going?
Keep going south. All right, as you get to there, Gloria, you're going to notice a man leaning up against the wall, and he just turns and he gives you this kind of like toothy smile. You can see his teeth are just all rotted and nasty.
Can I look around to see if there's an ambush here?
It doesn't seem like it. I mean, obviously, if there is, it's behind you, in front of you to the south, at the edge of the map here. It looks like the city streets just kind of keep going on. You're like in an alleyway. You don't see any other folks further south to the best of your vision.
Which way?
Brick will say, just keep going south. All right, and team, is that what you're trying to do? Is just continue to move south?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm watching my I mean, I've got it hidden and everything, but want to make sure they don't steal anything from me too. So
I'm looking at Brick because they don't like kobolds clearly, and he's our charge. So I've moved back to be closer to Brick.
All right, so if you're staying close to him, yeah, you'll notice that as he gets closer, the guy that was talking to you just shakes his head and spits on the ground, but otherwise doesn't seem to accost you in any way. So as you guys continue moving south, you get out of this area and back into the larger city area.
Good intimidation roll.
nice.
Yeah,
That was the
nat
key.
20.
That was definitely the key because it could have gone totally different. All right, yes, you guys continue making your way to the south, and before too long, about 5 minutes later or so, you will notice that Brick tells you guys to hold on up as you're getting closer to the city building. It looks to be like more of a humble kind of house, and you'll see he kind of goes up there and raps on the door a little bit. And after a couple of moments, you see the door opens and a halfling is standing there in the entryway. And you see the two of them begin chatting kind of quietly. Unless you're trying to like be real close to them, you really wouldn't hear much of what is being said. But for the most part, it kind of just looks like exchanging of pleasantries. And you'll see Brick hands over the package that he mentioned to you guys earlier, showed to you earlier. And you'll notice the halfling takes it and gives him a nod. He looks back towards all of you with like a lingering stare for a moment, and then says something else to Brick real quick. And you hear Brick gives this like kind of little bit of laughter. And then the door is closed. The halfling returns in, and Brick comes back to you all.
All right, that's one job down. Good job, guys.
Yes.
Wait,
Very
who's that?
good.
Who's that? Who is he? A friend of yours? Does he sell things or what?
No, that's the old rat catcher. He had my job before I had it. He did it for a lot of years too. He was really good at it.
I see. Why did he quit?
Oh, he got hurt on the job. He stepped into one of those traps and it just mangled up his leg real bad.
Is he kobold like you?
Oh no. He's a halfling. No, one of those things.
Should we speak to him if we are going down there? Perhaps he has knowledge.
What do you want to know? I know where we're going next down to the carways. I know the area pretty well. I think we'll be okay.
All right.
I'm eager to see more of the cartways. Let's move on.
Oh,
Well,
you're going to be
actually-
happy then, because there's a lot of ways down there. Once we take care of this job, if you're feeling really adventurous, I can take you to another spot down there too. But well, let's see how this one goes first.
How long have you been going down to the cartways?
Oh man, it's got to be like at least 6 months now.
Maybe we should ask questions.
What?
Well,
Well,
for
what do you want to
example-
know? I can tell you.
Well, for example, Brick, you weren't expecting goblins down there, were you, last time?
No, of course not. But yeah, there's it's the cartways. There's a lot of different paths and things come and go and that kind of thing. So you can never be sure exactly what's down there. There's just no way unless you had eyes in every room at all times.
He is telling the truth. It's a large network where people move in and out quite frequently, especially things like goblins and other unsavory creatures.
Hey, Adam, are there goblins walking around the city? It's a stupid question, but I thought I'd ask a stupid question.
Not much that you see, I would say. I would say, again, this is a cosmopolitan area, but goblins are not one of the races or species that would be considered common here for sure. If they're around, they're probably, in hiding and darting back and forth kind of thing, trying to avoid attention. There's certainly not a large number of them.
Well, maybe the cartways extend beyond the borders of Zolbeck. That would be useful information. Maybe your old friend, if you don't know that, Brick, maybe your compadre might know that.
I'm pretty sure the answer is no, it doesn't. Again, Zobek's pretty big, but you're asking if the mines go further out, away from under the city? No, not really, no.
I just chuckle at that, thinking that can't be true. What? I'd find a way to get into those tunnels if I was dealing with Zobek, and I'm not even a bad guy. I think that's a great idea.
You're saying get into the tunnels from outside the city? I don't think you can even do that.
Okay, little friend.
All right, let me take you to the next entrance. It's just over this way. It's another area. It's yeah, we'll be there shortly. Here, just follow me. All right, and he's gonna move on closer through the city, again, passing through some of these different areas. As you guys are moving through these different areas, again, trying to keep a good watch on Brick, you'll notice, much as the previous day, you see a lot of folks are kind of giving sneers in Brick's direction and kind of shaking their heads as they look at you guys, and you hear people, like, under their breath saying very nasty things like kidnapper and probably killed her, and just spitting on the ground. Just, you can tell people are just not happy with kobolds right now. But it doesn't take you too long before you get to a next entrance, and Brick will sort of open this area that looks, once again, sort of like a little bit of a trapdoor kind of deal. So he will pull this up and kind of looks down there, and you see he kind of coughs as dust comes up from the area. He looks down, he says, yeah, all right, we're going down here. You guys ready?
I will cast Mage Armor and Light on my staff before heading in.
I will do the same, but the light for me is just going to be on like a pebble that I pick up and keep in my hand.
All right, fair enough. It looks like they fixed some of the API scripts for Light, the one that I use for Light anyway. So once I get you guys on this other map, I'm going to show you another way to do the Light. So we'll have both ways in case you want to, cast Light on something and throw it somewhere. You'll be able to use the old way, and I'm going to show you this new way that makes it a little bit easier to maintain. You don't have to drag it with you. Is there anything else anyone wants to do before actually climbing the stair down? And then I'll just, as a reminder, if you don't have, if you're not using a feed or something like that, remember your resource reporting. Excellent. There we, probably didn't have your token selected there, Zach, but just as a quick reminder on those.
I just have a quick question, Adam. Is there like a significant amount of kobolds in the city? Or is it just like a really small group?
Well, there is actually an entire area of the city called the Kobold Ghetto. So yes, there is a lot of kobolds known to be in Zobek.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on this next map as you guys descend down and walk a little bit of a distance before finding yourselves back in the cartways. Okay, so yeah, go ahead and give that a try again, Zach. I'm just curious to see if that was the issue. Try your resource reporting now that you've got a token to select. And if you can't, you probably can't see your token right now because, oh, there you go. All right, the other way of doing light, so just quick primer here, or tutorial. I've got macros over in the right-hand side. Players from previous campaigns, you'll remember these. They are light spell, light snuff light spell, light torch, and light snuff torch. Those are the most common sort of lights. So if you click your token and then click the macro, for example, Zach, if you select your token and then click the light spell macro, that will put a little emote in the chat saying you cast the light spell, and it should set the light properly on your token. There you go, and it looks like that worked, and now you should have light. Okay, excellent. And once the light is on, you'll see a little token marker on there that kind of looks like a bit of light. That lets us know that your token is giving off light. If you do torch, it'll put a little torch token marker on your token for you. If you need to cancel that light for whatever reason, because you're not casting a spell anymore, it ends, whatever, you'll use the snuff version. Everybody good with that? Any questions?
Sorry, where was the actual cast the spell thing? I clicked it and it brought up like a character sheet for it.
So you're going to click your token, and then in the macro section, you're going to click the die just to the left of the text. That's how you actually activate the macro. And of course, you can also check the in bar option if you wish, and that'll put a button down below on your screen for you, and it will work the same way as your other macros. All right, there you go. So that light should now be working, and you won't have to worry about dragging that around and getting it lost. It won't show up in initiative. So this is the better way, unless you want to do light and like throw it off somewhere, then we'll do it the old way. Okay, so yes, again, I got you guys in just a limited version right now. You're coming from the west and you're going to the east. Feel free to put yourself in whichever order you would like.
I'm happy where I am, unless somebody would like to trade with me.
And what are we doing down here again?
We're
You have to
looking
meet
for the
with someone.
alchemist. Yeah. It's its alchemist guy.
Does he live in a dangerous place?
Well, it is the Cartways. So I don't know if he lives here, but he works down here.
All right. What around his place is dangerous? Do you know?
Usually nothing, but like I say, it's the Cartways. Anything could be down here. You just never know. Sometimes things just kind of slither around. You know, it's some bugs and all those kind of weird things.
All right. I hate bugs.
Oh.
All right, not seeing any more movement. I'm going to go ahead and remove this. And as a reminder, you can always find the direction in the top right corner of our screen. You might have to zoom out a bit to see it, but north is to your right on this map. So Brick will say,
Yeah, keep going north, and then we're going to hang a right. We're going to go to the east.
Hey, Adam, just as a heads up, when I zoomed out to see that, I can see parts of the map I don't think I should be able to see.
no, actually you should be able to. That is the area that you were down here before. So that's showing you the
Okay.
Explorer mode of the area that you previously visited.
Good to know. Thank you.
Sure thing. All right, you're moving
sure.
through these like stone tunnels that are roughly hewn. So you can see on the ground there's areas where there's like pockmarks or there's like jagged areas. It doesn't look particularly dangerous, but it's certainly not an area you would want like a little kid moving around in. They could certainly get hurt.
What was this used for again, Brick?
Recently or a long time ago?
A long time ago.
They mined stuff down here. They came down like mining for like ores and stuff.
Adam, can you describe the floors? And what I mean by that particularly is it an area that we could probably search for footprints or debris?
It is rock based, so footprints very unlikely. You could certainly search for any kind of like threads that maybe got caught on the wall if someone was close and walking too close to the wall, or if there was like perhaps a little bit of something that fell off somebody, you might be able to find something like that. But as far as footprints, no, because it is rock like hard.
What are we hearing?
Right at the moment, it's fairly quiet. So if you stop and listen without anybody in the team moving, I would say all you hear is maybe a slight hum sound that you attribute to the activity of the city overhead.
Which way?
Well, you gotta turn right again. You should be down. There should be, that way.
That's a door. Let's not all line up in that hallway. It gives me the EBGBs.
Just go ahead and give it a knock. He should be expecting us.
Knock, knock.
You knock on the door, but you hear nothing in response.
I'm gonna grab Brick
That's
and
weird.
move him.
Where are you trying to move him to?
Brick to my right as we're looking at the screen, please.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Okay, I can stand here.
Okay, good.
Can I put my ear to the door, see if I hear anything?
Yeah, throw me a perception check, Glory. You do hear something, but it's hard to place exactly what it is, Glory. The best I can describe it to you, it kind of sounds like a squelching sound.
I'm thinking that. I don't recognize the sound.
Is it a good sound or a bad sound?
I don't recognize it to say good or bad. I'll try the door, see if it's unlocked or locked.
You test the handle and it seems to be unlocked.
I'm opening the door.
Yeah, good idea.
I open the door.
Feel free to click on the door icon there to open it. All right, as you open the door, you notice a humanoid body right in front of the door, its arms stretched out towards the door. You can see that there are blood stains on the ground.
Take out my halberd.
I might. Could I see that body as well?
If you can see it on your screen and you're not too far back, I would say yes.
All right, so Vigo runs up with his healer's kit and tries to administer medicine if they're alive.
Okay, I would say you'd have to get to at least the spot Glory just was, but as Glory enters there, I imagine carefully stepping over the body to try to avoid this, you will notice from your west, Glory, there is this weird mass of skin, fibers, tissue, entrails that somehow seems connected and sentient as it begins moving towards you. I'm going to go ahead and put us into initiative order.
The blob. Ugh.
Hey, free supplies.
Radical swap.
Hang on one sec, guys. Ignore that initiative. For whatever reason, on the new character sheets, every once in a while, the sandbox will just turn back to the old version. So I have to always go back and refresh it to make sure it adds, because you'll notice on those modifiers didn't add your modifier. So I want to make sure to correct that real quick. All right, but let me give you a little bit of more description as I'm reloading the sandbox here. This usually just takes 30 seconds or so. So this looks sort of like a laboratory, Glory. You're noticing that on the east wall here, and remember that's on the south side of your screen, or that's on the bottom side of your screen, I should say, because north is to your right. So on the east wall, there is a table set up, and you can see that there are 3 different jars. Inside these jars is some kind of liquid, and you can see this sort of odd effervescence or bubbling. There seems to be something kind of floating in each of these jars. You're kind of just glancing there for a moment, and as this other thing from your west is moving towards you quickly, so you don't get a lot of details of what's in those jars, but you definitely notice the jars themselves. On the south wall, southwest corner there, you also notice a larger jar, and there seems to be like a almost looks like muddy water inside that jar. All right, so the sandbox is now fixed. So let me go ahead and end that battle and re-roll these so we get all your modifiers in there properly. Okay, so that should now be working and have your appropriate modifier in play. And then let me make sure we've got everybody going here.
Somehow Braddock will alert Glory and offer to swap initiative with him.
Glory, would you like to swap with Braddock?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to take Glory to the top, Braddock to the bottom.
Wow.
Okay.
That is awesome right now.
So, yes, that is where we are. Let me put on some different music here, folks. Okay, we start battle. Glory, you are on the front. I'm going to go ahead and reveal this token. All right, that is what you see, Glory. Again, it looks quite odd.
Okay, I'm going to rage.
Okay, you are raging.
Ooh. Wow. And then I'm going to try to attack it with the halberd.
That'll certainly hit. All right, you slash down into this mass of entrails and body tissues and fibers and whatever else in the world this is. As you slash into it, it is slain. It seemingly is destroyed with that massive amount of damage. All right, folks, we're out of combat.
Nice. What is going on in there?
Is it safe?
Yeah, that seems safe.
Brick, I think your friend's dead.
He wasn't a friend, just a supplier. But yeah, that's a bummer.
I'll still try to administer healer kit if he is alive.
All right, sounds like you would like to check to see if he is alive or not. I'm going to lock tokens again real quick. Glory, as you step up to there, as a reminder, there was this gray, like muddy water in this jar over here. You notice as you step to there, the jar starts getting thumped. You hear like thunk, and you see the jar fiddles a bit. It kind of just moves a bit, and then it does it again. Anything you do immediately?
Step back.
Step
If
back,
I
all right?
can.
I'm going to unlock tokens. Feel free to step back.
The jar is alive.
Oh, maybe the soul of this man moved into the jar.
You've been reading too many books.
Me? No.
Yes.
So,
Do you require my
Vigo,
assistance in that?
as you're getting closer to apply some kind of medical aid, I would say you can detect pretty quickly as you're getting closer this odor of rot. And you realize that this person has been dead for at least some time. You're not sure exactly how long. You can make a medicine check if you like, but you're guessing certainly more than just like 10 minutes or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if he's dead, I don't care how long.
Fair enough.
This man is compost.
What was the supplier of?
He had a bunch of different things.
Stop being elusive, little man. Tell me.
Let me try to find it. I know Uncle Skirtle told me what we were getting from him, but I just remember talking to him. Let's see. We had to get a pouch of powdered roach, a bundle of bat tongues, and a jar of carrion beetle saliva.
This is the apothecary.
That's gross, by the way, Brick.
Maybe those things are still in there.
Maybe you just don't know good kobold cooking.
I'm beginning to wish I never did.
Sometimes it's better not to know what goes into the sausage.
Hey, Gash, keep an eye on the little guy. I'm gonna go see if we can find some of those things.
Yeah, guys, take your time. I'll throw him in the room if shit hits the fan in the hallway.
If you can find out what that thing is in the corner.
I can try taking a look at whatever you're talking about.
So when I take a step into the room, do I recognize any of these things? Like, got a history, it's like, with magic and stuff, so.
Any of the things like in jars and such you're asking?
Yes.
Throw me a Arcana check. Based on a 12, I would say the best you can come up with is that it looks as though the jars on the east wall are being used to preserve whatever is inside. The jar on the south wall just looks like muddy water to you. It's hard to say. Braddock, as you step to there, you're going to notice as the jar in the southwest corner starts thudding once again. Do you do anything immediately?
We'll jump back, sort of with to where Glory was.
All right. Feel free to move yourself.
Move away from it if I could. Look to Glory and just see the dead thing. Well struck, but the hell is that thing up there?
I'm gonna move my way past these, past Vigo, and I believe that is Zach. And I'm gonna say excuse me as I walk past them.
Okay.
Braddock, as you step up to there, now against the east wall, you see that there are these 3 containers. Each one of them has liquid inside. And you're going to notice now that as you get closer, you start hearing knocks on the liquid. Like, I'm sorry, against the glass container, you start to hear knocks. Inside these glass jars, now that you're this close, you can notice what looks to be a goblin's hand in one jar, a 4-fingered human hand in the second jar, and a tooth-studded tongue in the third jar.
You said a tooth-studded tongue?
Yes.
Yeah. Good thing I'm not in that room.
This apothecary was into some weird stuff. Hey, we don't see any of the stuff you were looking for, but there's some other weird stuff in here.
I could try to detect if things were magical.
This tongue has teeth, and it moved in a jar. I think it's safe to say it's magical.
All right.
Do you want me to inspect the larger jar over here in this corner? Seems like we keep jumping away from it, but
It does seem to move on its own, so yeah, that's a good idea. Go, you go check
Alright.
it out. I'm just gonna stand over here.
I'm going to move up then and look at it.
All right, as you step to there, Shy, you're going to notice once again, thump, thump. As you can see, the whole vial, the whole container is actually shaking a bit now. And you say, give me an idea of what you're doing when you say looking at it.
I would like to lean into it and see if I can perceive anything in it.
All right, as you lean into it and you see it still moving, you hear the sound of glass shattering as this gray material, this liquid that looks like a slime, just moves right out towards you. So I know this might be a little bit far-fetched, but I'm going to say you guys are surprised by this. Obviously, you knew something was going on there. Maybe you didn't know that there was a creature inside. Surprise means that your checks will be made at disadvantage. So I'm going to ask each of you guys to roll your initiatives on your own this time. So let me go ahead and post the initiative real quick. All right, so on your character sheet, just go ahead and select your token. And I believe this should work, where as long as you have disadvantage selected on the top there, when you roll your initiative, it should automatically apply to disadvantage.
Why were mine just flat numbers?
I'm trying to look at yours. One moment.
Oh, I forgot to select disadvantage.
So no, you rolled an 8 and you got +2. So yeah, you should be getting a 10 total. Let's see. Yeah, I gave you the 10. That looks like it worked properly. If you hit the little details button, it will tell you the modifiers. Okay, so Gloria, you said you forgot to select disadvantage, so you're actually at 6.14. Let me go ahead and change that.
I think Vigo's saying, why isn't it a 10.1 or something?
Then that would tell me, yeah, tiebreaker's not turned on. Okay, so as this thing busts out of the jar, I'm going to go ahead and move it here, representing that it has just bursted out of the jar.
And I'd like to offer Shay a chance to swap.
Now, post that text again. I don't know if this is something you can do when you're surprised or not, so we'll just double check that real quick.
Can you be surprised if you're alert?
I don't think you can. At least you couldn't in the old one. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I feel like they took that away, because surprise is like way weaker than it used to be.
It does not state that you can't do it if you are surprised.
All right, does it? Okay, I'm gonna just pull it up real quick, see if there's any conditions it gives you.
There we go.
Okay, so it says you can't make the swap if you or the ally has the incapacitated condition. Let me see if surprise says you have incapacitated condition.
I guess if you're standing there with your jaw slack-jawed.
It does not. It just says creature is caught unaware. Creature is surprised, which causes it to have disadvantage. So yeah, I would say you can still swap. And who is that you asked to swap with?
Shy.
All right. So
Ooh, okay.
so Braddock wants to swap with Shy. Shy, you're agreeing with that?
Yes, I agree.
All right. So let's see. I don't see Shy in the initiative order yet. Did you already roll, Shy?
I did.
All right.
Got 12.11.
Well, okay. Let me go ahead and get you in there.
Doesn't
All right,
move you up
let me
much. A little bit.
Sort it again. Okay, so Braddock and Shy are swapping. Let me go ahead and do that. All right, so that would put our initiative like there. And all right, let me go ahead and change the music up again, but we will start with Zach's turn.
I will go ahead and cast Mind Sliver on the thing.
Okie doke, Mind Sliver. Here comes a intelligence saving throw. And whoop, that is to GM. One moment. All right, it is going to fail that save. So it will take 2 points of damage. And it will take a penalty on any future saves.
And then I will step out of the room.
Okay, next up is Shy.
Ooh. I will take the action disengage,
Okay.
and I want. Well, let's see here. You guys are in my way. Okay, I will move down here, which will be 5, 10, 15 feet. And that's it.
Okay, Barnaby.
Adam, can you pop up the token just so I get a better idea of what it looks like, please? Nice.
You know the rules. If it's wet and it's not yours, don't touch it.
It looks like someone's booger.
And it comes with that skull with the helmet, right?
You don't see that, no.
What about the jewels? All right, I'm going to go ahead and, as a bonus action, I'm going to go ahead and cast the Shield of Faith.
Okay.
Sorry, just clicking buttons, you know. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to stab out with my rapier. I'm going to say, you're not looking very nice, dude.
Okay, your rapier does indeed strike into the creature, which seems to wound this gelatinous form. However, as you do this, Barnaby, you're going to notice that as you pull your rapier back, it is sizzling and it has been pitted a bit. You have a -1 penalty to attack rolls on this rapier.
All right. And I'm going to go ahead and end my turn.
Okay, Braddock.
Braddock just is going to, surprise, surprise, fire the hand crossbow at it.
25 will certainly hit.
And because Barnaby was so close, he gets a bit of a sneak attack on it. So let's see. Damage. I think I clicked that. There we go. Oof.
All right, so as that bolt strikes into the creature, you're going to see it splatters a bit and seemingly is no longer moving. All right, once again, folks, we are out of combat.
Oof.
Oh, my poor rapier.
No.
All right, and again, just to set the scene a little bit here, Shy, as you're standing there close to that table, you just constantly hear this like tapping sound on the glass as the hand and the tongue and the other hand are like beating against the glass tubes.
Hey, Adam, I don't want to disrupt what's going on in that room, but I've been wanting to ask. I'm paying attention in this large hallway and at that door. Am I hearing anything weird, or just want you to know I'm being aware out here?
Throw me a perception check. Nothing out of the ordinary. It seems fairly quiet down here.
Okay, thank you.
Shy, you can fix his rapier, yes?
I cannot, but I believe someone has that ability. In fact, I think it was Gesh who fixed the orb.
Oh, yes.
I will. Might as well. I will continue with the theme, and I will look at the jars, and I will look to see if there's any kind of what kind of magic is being used on them. If I can get a sense for that.
How are you attempting to do so?
Looking at like the stitching of the teeth, the goblin hand moving, seeing if there's some kind of animation or if it's like an illusion.
So it sounds like you'd like to use your Arcana knowledge, see if you can deduce any of that. Throw me an Arcana check.
Got it.
Adam, can I search the body?
You can. Throw me an investigation check. There you go. So,
Is it possible?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, is it possible for me to guidance myself before that, or is that I have to declare that right when I say I'm going to
Since
do
you're
something?
doing it to yourself, I'm totally fine with that. Yeah, it's generally when other people try to do that, but yes, you could certainly do it to yourself.
Okay.
Okay, so Shy, I would say based on that check, you actually recognize these creatures that are known. They are what is known as gorlings. Gorlings are created by necromancers, and they are essentially leftover flesh that like a necromancer can't create a whole skeleton or zombie or some other advanced undead, and they will use small pieces of body parts that have been kind of cast off from other experiments and turn them into gorlings. They are blind, but they can see via blind sight within 60 feet of them. They are known when there's a lot of them to all get together and sort of all strike at the same time. And then some of them, which are known as rotten gorlings, which is the one that Glory just instantly dispatched, they actually also emit a really terrible stench, and that can have a negative impact on folks, if the rotten gorling had survived.
I will relay some of that information, and I will say, yes, these are gorlings. It's a house of necromancy magic, and it seems like we've dispatched one of the evolutions of such a thing in the corner.
All right,
Very
Vigo, searching the body, you will come away with a note. I'm going to go ahead and give you access to that note. All right. You also find that there is a dagger upon this individual's side.
He has a dagger on him. Vigo points it out.
Well, he doesn't need any more. I would help yourself to it. Braddock's going to poke around on the table here, see if he can find any of the items that Rick had listed off.
All right. Investigation check for Braddock.
I'm going to move past Zach and Vigo and say excuse me as I do.
So as you're searching in this area, Braddock, it is cluttered with like test tubes and various other instruments and like piles of small amounts of components and so forth. So looking through these, you do find a few different containers. One you identify as what would be alchemist supplies. So if you wish to take that, you can. This is something you could buy in a shop, for example. You're kind of piecing the various items on the table together to make up one set of alchemist supplies. There's also a jar of alchemist's fire, 2 vials of acid, and what looks to be a potion of some kind. Based on your check, in addition to that, you will find a leather-bound grimoire, which is hidden underneath some blank parchment.
Sorry, I was trying to write there. 2 vials of acid. What was the first thing?
Yep, no worries. Let me go ahead and just put that in chat for you.
Perfect, thank you.
After Vigo reads the note, he looks over at everybody. He's like, "Be careful how far you stray."
I would like to ask Brick. So you were buying simple supplies from this person?
We were sent here to say he had the supplies that we need. Remember, our regular supplier's on vacation. This guy's supposed to have the things we need.
Hey, Shy,
Yes, Gash.
did you see any of the supplies that Brick wanted in the room?
From what I saw, I only saw what appeared to be necromantic things. Jars with hands and tongues with teeth. Gore things.
Should we specifically look for those items?
I suppose we can. I will go
Yeah.
back in there and look for.
And Skirtle will be happy at least.
All right,
Yes,
doing
I
a
will.
quick check here. I know Braddock has searched in this room. Who else has searched in this room so far?
I have not.
All right.
I've searched the body.
All right, so it sounds like just Braddock. If not, feel free to speak up or type in chat. Braddock, throw me a 1d100, please. Okay, in addition to that, you have also discovered an interesting trinket in this room, which is a gray palm-sized heart-shaped rock that is disproportionately heavy.
Braddock will slip the rock and most of the stuff of what he finds just into his pouch for later, and pass over the alchemist supplies. Hey, Brick, is this any of the stuff you're looking for?
Brick, go in there, bud. You'll be safe. Go on. Go talk. Go see what's going on in there.
Okay.
He does mention having coin in the note.
You notice Brick kind of will start looking around, looking at the jars. And says, yeah.
Yeah, it does look like there's some stuff here. Let me take a look.
So you will notice Brick starts essentially piecing some of these things together. You see him looking on the shelves, over at this barrel in the corner, poking a bits about, and it seems like he's collecting some of those things he was here to find.
Does he look like he was killed by this hand thing?
Give me an insight check. Yes, you are quite confident that is what happened.
Can I see that book? The grimoire.
Yeah, of course, and he sort of guiltily pulls it back out. It's like when you're playing cards, it's not usually to count your coins. We might be better to look at that back at the end.
Well, this says that there's goblins and lycanthropes and all sorts of other crazy beasts down here. So
exactly. Might be better to study the book later, but of course, Zach, here you go. And found this too, and he shows him the potion. I don't recognize it. Is it something you'd recognize from the shop?
I don't know if I can do that, but I will certainly try.
Sure. I would say give me an Arcana check. See if this looks that familiar to you at all. Yeah, Zach, you're pretty sure this is a potion of healing. The color is off. It looks like the person that made this, they didn't kind of follow the recipe to the T, but as far as you can tell, it should work exactly like a standard potion of healing.
I think it's a potion of healing. It's worth keeping. I'll hand it back to Braddock.
I'll just hang on to this now. If somebody needs it, let me know. Tucks it back into his pack.
Vigo, can you give me some guidance? I want to skim through this book and see if there's anything of value.
All right, what are you thinking? Arcana?
Yes.
That's what I'll do. I know a little bit too. Here you go. Guidance. So I will guide your Arcana skill.
And I'll try to
Alright.
flip through the book and see if I can recognize anything.
Sure, throw in another Arcana check. You are
Can
quite
I-
confident that this is a spell book and it contains various spells, but it looks like the way these spells are encoded, you can't make out the specific spells.
It's definitely a spell book. Here, this might be useful for you, Shai. And I'll
So take
give
a
it to
look.
him.
Well, wait. Don't you get plus a D4 for the guidance?
I
Yeah.
do.
Same description.
Damn. Good try.
I can take a look at it.
And did anyone grab that dagger yet?
I don't think so. Dagger's not my style. It's probably magic. I also probably messed a whole bunch of stuff on that guy, but I don't know that.
Yeah, if that dagger hasn't been picked up, I'll actually pick it up with Mage Hand and drop it directly into my backpack. I don't want to touch anything that's been on this guy.
Okay, you can certainly add a silver dagger to your character sheet.
And somebody said something about a book of spells here.
Oh, actually, sorry, one other thing. So, Zach, as you were leafing through the book, you see there is this yellowed piece of parchment that was folded up and tucked into the book. I'm going to make that visible to you.
Brick, is there any other place you can get your supplies from?
No, actually, they're all here. I've got them. I got everything I need. This was, well, aside for the dead guy, this was great.
Yes, very good.
And before we leave, I want to just take one last look over this body, just to make sure nothing was missed.
Sure. Go ahead and throw me an investigation check. You will find, actually, around the corpse's neck on a little bit of twine, a small key. You take this key in hand and kind of look at it and realize that this looks to be the door key.
Yeah, I don't think we need this, but who knows? I'll grab the key.
So I see Vigo come out, and I'm gonna say, "Are we just gonna leave the body in there? Like, what do we do?"
He's dead.
What?
Not-
Okay. I
not-
don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
Race-
sure some creatures will come for him. He is a halfling.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fine with me. Hey, Burke,
He
did
did-
you get everything?
Yeah. Good to go.
His note mentioned hooded men that would come at odd times in the night.
And obviously, guys,
Wait.
those of you that found handouts, those the notes, if you wish to share that with other people, let me know and I can make it visible to them. But unless you say that, I'm assuming you're just keeping it on your person.
Yeah, I'll share it. Sure.
All right, you hand that off to anybody who's interested in seeing it. So I'll make that visible to all and pop that on your screens.
And is it possible, Adam, that those hands just like escaped from like a jar or something? You know?
It's certainly possible, sure.
Well, as you share that note, Gesh will look over his shoulder towards the dead end and say, "Isn't that east?" And he points.
That's what I was wondering. Maybe this swings around after you go through this door.
Can someone take a look at this end cap of this hallway? Says things come from the east. It looks like a dead end to me.
Here, I can try to see what maybe something magical is blocking it off. And I will look at, I will inspect this wall here.
All right, investigation check there, Shy.
And can I put divinity, what is it? Yeah, it's divinity, right? On myself?
You mean guidance?
Guidance, yes, that is, yeah, guidance.
If you have the spell guidance, then sure, you could cast it on yourself.
Okay. And there we go.
All right, and then feel free to throw a 1d4, or is that already added in?
There we go.
All right, so 17. This does look to be a natural dead end. You can see the rough bits of wall where mining picks have gone to it. There doesn't look to be anything suspicious or out of the ordinary here. You don't see any kind of sliding areas or any hidden doors or anything like that.
Well, there's nothing physical here. It is, as you see, a dead end.
How odd.
Well, we're actually all good, guys, for the 2 jobs for today. But if you want to keep looking, I'm okay. I can go with you and kind of let you know what's around here. I mean, you did that so fast. Like, I mean, it was crazy. Like, you just guys, it was easy, right?
All right, but stay close, okay? We want to make sure you're safe. This is extra credit. I'm down, guys. You want to see what's in that door?
Yeah, what's through there, Rick?
Yes, but first I want to try something.
That's deeper into the cartways. I don't know exactly what's that way, but I think it goes that way and turns to the east.
All right, and Zach, what was it that you would like to try?
So I want to cast elementalism and try to make basically like some sand or dust and try to see if I can blow that through the wall to see if there's any actual hidden crevices to see if we missed something.
Sure, like to your east, you mean?
Yes.
Okay, throw me an investigation check. I'll give you advantage since you're using this cantrip in a creative way. The sand that you've created from this cantrip hits the wall and falls to the ground as you would expect if there was nothing out of the ordinary there.
Okay, I'm good.
All right, let's just look at this note one more time. If it goes east, then we are sure to find warrens, whatever those are, hooded fellows who steal about the odd hours of night, and I fear other, and this is the optimal word, monstrosities, taking residence in the tunnels. So, just a heads up.
What does that word mean?
heads up means to be aware of something.
No, the lobsterosities.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
No desire to run into a monstrosity, but happy to learn more about these tunnels. Who knows? This through this door it could bend to the east again.
Would that term be anything any of us might know? Like,
I would say in general, monstrosities is a term you will hear people use that basically means exotic creatures of some kind. Like you wouldn't hear someone call a dog a monstrosity unless they were being overly dramatic. So monstrosity is sort of a general catch-all term for all kinds of weird, creepy, crawly creatures.
I thought they were talking about like lycanthropes. That was in the note.
Well, you'll notice that
Yeah.
lycanthropes are specifically called out in the note, so you would assume that he would use a different word to mean different things, right? So when he says lycanthropes near the top of the note, it tells you that they're north of here, and then it says east of here is monstrosities, or in the tunnels. You assume that's two separate things.
Gotcha.
I would classify those things we ran in the other room there. I classify those as monstrosities, but hopefully they stay small like that.
Okay, good to know.
Well, we know there's trouble ahead, or we think there is, so we should go quietly.
Agreed.
Do we have business with any of these things?
I do not. I do not have business with a monstrosity. No, or a Warren, whatever that is.
No, but the loot's been good so far, and we're getting paid a pittance to guard that little guy. Might be
He
worth
smiles
our
as you say
help.
that.
No, I'm good. I'm just making sure that, heads up, let's go.
Okay.
And sneaky's my style. I like the way you think, Lori. Radical tries to toe kind of towards this door to see if you can get a listen to it.
Sure, yeah. Throw me a perception check as you get closer to the door and try to listen that way. Yeah, it seems kind of quiet through the door as best you can tell.
I don't hear anything. We probably safe to go in.
All right, would you
Knock
guys-
first.
Braddock will try the door handle, see if it's locked.
It is not locked. If you click it on your screen, it will be locked. Essentially, this is a transition piece, so if you guys decide to open it, walk through, I'll be shifting you somewhere else on the map. But yes, it is not locked.
Let's go.
Let's see what's in.
Let's go.
All right, I'm going to make it where you guys can't see for just a moment.
We're gonna speed run.
We got 2 one-shots, which has been amazing. Oh, not quite 2. We did soften them up with the rapier. Oh, and the mine sliver. Never mind.
All right, and you guys are here now. Once again, feel free to adjust your exact order if you wish. Obviously, I didn't know which way you guys were going to move and adjust your tokens from, platform to platform. So feel free to move where you would like to be.
And which way are we going?
Which part is
Yes,
it?
yep, good question. You're coming from this way, and you're coming out here. And you're just in a narrow tunnel at this moment. You don't see anything else distinct.
I guess Gloria and I were at the front, weren't we?
And did you fix his rapier with mending?
If you could try.
No one's at. I didn't know his rapier was needed to be mended.
It's all sizzled up.
Yeah, that Uzi thing, it decided to melt some of it.
All right, hand it over. Let me see. I'm pretty handy with this.
Braddock's got one hand on the doorknob. Just what now? Hush down. Are we ready or not?
Oh no, we're not ready. Hold on. And I start doing magical words and casting a spell and trying to mend Barnaby's rapier.
All right, the little pock marks seem to bubble out and seem flat and good as new.
Thank you. Do you? I may have other stuff for you to fix later as well. Who knows? That comes in handy.
All right, well, it sure does.
I have a
so-
bracelet I need looked at.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, maybe we could sort it out when we get back to the Rambling Roach, or whatever it's called.
Rampant roach.
Yes, of course.
All right, I haven't seen any tokens move recently. Is everybody in a good spot for where they'd like to be in this transition?
Braddock looks to Glory and sort of rolls his eyes. This is why I tend to work alone. Then he reaches up and opens the door.
All right, you open the door and make your way a bit through the area. So you find yourself like moving through this narrow tunnel, turn a little bit, travel, and then find yourself here on the map where you're represented at the moment. You are at the end of this hallway, Braddock, as you're in the lead. And obviously you can see to your west and east, this tunnel widens and it goes a pretty far distance.
It goes east.
Can I move stealthily?
Sure, if you wish to attempt to do so. I will request a roll when it becomes necessary, but yes, you can declare that you're doing so. All right, as you move to there, Braddock, you can see to your east and probably hear, more importantly, the sounds of chittering. And off to the east, you notice scampering kind of back and forth through the hallway are these giant rats. You can make out some of them thanks to your extended dark vision, probably more than most folks would be able to. I'll also need you to throw me a 1d100, please.
That's how many rats are down there.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I'm unlocking the tokens. You can feel free to act as you are.
He whispers back to the crowd. We're not alone. Rats. Big ones, but I think just normal. Normal big ones.
Oh, rats? Hold on.
Hey, Adam, did we go upstairs? I see a little stair icon.
Yeah, slightly, but not significantly.
Vigo will cast Speak with Animals.
All right, as you're beginning to do that, Glory, as you step to there, please throw me a 1d100. Okay, you can see those rats more towards the end of the hallway as well.
Vigo, did you cast your spell?
Yeah, I don't know why it didn't show.
Looks like some debris here, Adam. I'm trying to...
That is debris, yeah. You get the impression that this is like the remnants of a cart. So you can see like a broken axle, pieces of wood that would make up the cart base, and the wheel wells and so forth.
Actual cartway. Braddock will move up and see if he can kind of take some cover behind one of them.
All right. Calm down, rats.
Vigo, as you step to there, please throw me a 1d100. Okay, Vigo, as you step to here, you notice Braddock entered this area, moved beyond, Glory did the same. However, it's something about you when you step here. Maybe you had extra breakfast this morning or something, you're not sure, but this extra heft of you causes the ground to suddenly give way as the floor crashes out underneath you. Please throw me a dexterity saving throw.
I'm not fat.
That is a failure as you fall into the hole, taking 2 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are now currently prone. As the ground sort of crashes here and echoes out in the hallway, dust and debris kind of throws up in the air. You will notice this seems to have gotten the attention of the rats. I'm going to go ahead and put us into initiative order.
Dang.
Hearing the crowd crash, Braddock will turn to Vigo and give him a bit of a whistle or something, but offer to swap initiative with Vigo.
All right, so that was Braddock to Vigo. Vigo, are you agreeing?
Sure. Am I prone?
You are prone, yes.
I would also like to offer to switch mine with Glory.
Okay, Shy to Glory. Glory, do you accept?
Yeah.
Okay, initiative should now be correct. Changing music up. And Vigo, you are the first to react. Currently prone in this hole or pit. As you look up, you can see the edges are about 12 feet above you.
What'd you do that for?
It fell when I stepped here. Rats, aid me! He calls out in rat. Then is it an action to attempt to climb out?
So, a couple quick questions. So, when you cast Speak with Animals, did you use a spell slot for that?
Yes.
Okay, so remember that resource reporting. So just go ahead and type in one spell slot remaining or whatever, just so we know. And then, so that is currently active. Let's see. So it says you can comprehend, verbally communicate with beasts, and you can use the influence action skill option with them. Okay, so you're shouting out, "Rats, come aid me." Okay. All right. That's good enough for now. And then, I'm sorry. Did you have a question as well that I missed there?
Is it an action to try to climb out?
So you have to stand up from prone, which would be half of your movement, and then you can attempt to grab onto the top and pull yourself up. That would also use movement. So it would be difficult terrain. Standing up would cost you 15. I'm assuming your speed's 30. So if you roll a successful athletics check, you'll basically be able to pull yourself out and have like 5 feet of movement left. But yeah, no action.
Okay, that's what I'm going to try to do.
Okay, all right, so you stand up from prone, and then go ahead and throw me an athletics check to see if you can pull yourself up.
Ooh, I forgot that strength is a bad one.
Unfortunately, no. You reach up, kind of try to like climb a bit, dig your hands into the side of this broken wall, but you don't make any progress at all. So
He
think of
just
that essentially
falls.
as using all of your movements. You still have your action left, but you haven't used your movement would be gone.
Okay. He's going to just chitter and rat, like, and curse and use shout expletives as he fails to scale out of the pit, I guess.
All right, fair enough. So you guys probably hear like chittering and things coming from down the hole, which sounds odd, but any of you close enough can tell those sounds are coming from Vigo. Barnaby, your turn.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and kind of do the same thing, but as a gnome, I do get to speak to animals without spending a spell slot, so I'm going to do that too, just because you can never speak rat enough in this world, I guess, you know?
Is that an action for you as a gnome, or is that something separate?
It is an action, yeah. I'm trying to... It says it's a little bit different on this here, Adam. What I'm trying to do is try to use the resource for it. I'll push that, just it's not the same thing, but I'll just do this here.
Yeah, that works. So I would uncheck one of your uses of that now. So you have one left, and then, yep, there you go.
Perfect. And I'll say, I'll say, hey rats, we're here as friends. We don't want to hurt each other.
Give me a persuasion check. All right, you say this to the rats. You don't see any immediate response. They're kind of all in a flurry moving your way when they can. Brick's going to move up a bit, and then he's going to say,
yeah, I'll just stay here behind you, masked man. Okay, yeah, good.
Glory.
I'm gonna move here. I'm gonna throw down my rope and maybe on wait, who is down there?
That is Vigo.
Vigo. On Vigo's next turn, maybe I can give him advantage climbing
Yes.
up.
Certainly seems possible. All right, so you take some time to undo your rope and throw it down into the hole and hold on to it, bracing for him to grab on. Yeah, that'll work. All right, you guys can hear the sounds of some scurrying. As a giant rat moves its way right up next to Braddock. And another does the same. Okay, Braddock, your turn.
Oh, this is a lot of rats. This pit that's opened up behind me. Does it go right to the wall there? Am I sort of... Would I have to jump over the pit?
Yes.
There? Like...
You would not be able to easily traverse the hole there. Yeah, you would have to either like acrobatically try to tiptoe on this really narrow ledge or jump over it.
And then to... Same thing. The rats sort of have me pinned, so if I was to move diagonally... could I do that with a disengage to try to dodge the two of them?
You can. Yeah, you can disengage and move in diagonal through them. You can do that as well.
That's what he is going to do. So he's going to take the disengage as the action. And then, yeah, he's going to kind of a bit of a twirl on one side and a little bit of a flourish on the other, dance around as I'm assuming the rats are trying to bite at his legs as he's skips over the stuff.
Certainly
And,
seems that way, yes.
And then move in behind Glory here. In fact, actually, maybe to there. And my turn.
All right, there's some more scurrying. Zach.
All right, I'll move into the room. Do these have they done anything hostile yet or appeared that way?
Not from you in the hallway, no.
Okay, I'll see them and I'm going to sorry, I need to get the pointer. Right there, I want to cast Minor Illusion, and I want to make like a cobra right there, or not a cobra, like a big python right there. It's like right in front of Glory.
So unfortunately, you can't do that with Minor Illusion. The image is what you would select, and you can only create the image of an object.
Okay, then maybe like fire. Fire be fine.
Nope. Fire would be like a sensory kind of thing. I remember this being in Sage Advice. Someone asked this exact question, and they said, no, fire is not an object. So if you look at the examples there, like chair, muddy footprints, or small chest, think of it as like a physical object that is not moving and is just stationary.
Okay, all right. If that doesn't work, then I will just hold my action for Sorcerer's Burst. If they attack anybody, I'm just gonna attack the whatever rat attacks somebody.
Okay. Ready to action to cast a spell if any of the rats attack your allies. Got it. If that's the end of your turn, all right, there we go. Move to Shy.
I will move 20 feet up. And then, I'll actually move. I'll actually move there for 25, and then I will hold my action Sacred Flame for the same thing. If an ally gets attacked, I will cast it.
All right, so you're ready in your action to cast if your ally is attacked. All right. Okay, Gash.
All right, we're not doing anything. We're just running. Is that it? And I'll step here.
So count that as 10 feet, so you won't be able to go through the wall on the diagonal.
Copy that. I mean, yeah. Starry Wisp. If Glory's right there helping Gash with the rope.
Helping
10,
Vigo. Not helping you.
Vigo, yeah, not helping me. 10, 20, 30 to there. Yeah, Starry Wisp prepared cantrip if the rats attack us. Sounds good.
Okay, sounds like we got 3 ready to action so far. We hear the sounds of more rat movement. Yes, the rats continue scurrying ahead. Vigo, you're in the hole. Rope is dangling down by you. What would you like to do?
I would like to try to climb out with the rope.
Okay, throw me an athletics check at advantage.
My character sheet just crashed.
No worries. Go ahead and load that back up. And then just for mechanical efforts here, obviously you're climbing up closer to Glory as he has the rope. So if you manage to successfully climb up, you'll be prone in his space, just so you're aware. All right, 15 is successful. So it is about a 12-foot hole. So call it 20 feet to climb to here, and you're currently prone.
Okay. And from between his legs, Vigo in rat says, "We have come to help you rid yourselves of the green-skinned ones. We are here to help you."
Okay, give me a persuasion check. The rats don't seem very receptive to your language here.
Charisma, also a bad one for Vigo. So, does he still have an action?
Yes, you just use movement to climb out. Again, you're prone in this space. You still have an action.
All right, well, I haven't been attacked yet, so I'm going to disengage as my action and climb out.
You can crawl to there, sure.
Would that leave me at 30 feet of movement to get to there?
That would be your full movement, yes.
Okay. And as a bonus action, I will cast Shillelagh on my quarterstaff.
Okay, next up is Barnaby.
Ouch. I'm going to try this again, though. Hope it's successful, but I'm going to yell, "Please leave. We want to be your friends. We won't hurt you. Please don't hurt us either. You're wonderful. We love rats."
You don't see any change in their behavior, Barnaby.
Does that take an action or anything like that? I was
Nope.
trying to do that as... Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to say, guys, I don't think they're going to be friendly.
Yeah, these rats are real dicks, guys.
I'm going to go ahead and for my action then, I'm going to go ahead and use my last spell slot and cast Bless.
All right, yep, feel free to post that.
Maybe I'm not. Oh, I am pushing on my token. This time I'm doing resource reporting and nothing. It's not popping up this time, Adam.
Yeah, I'm noticing that the set condition wasn't working either, so I'm guessing the sandbox crashed. Let me try to change it and then change it back. Feel free to just continue. Yep, there you go.
All right, and for Bless, I'm going to go ahead and cast it on myself. I'll cast it on Glory. And because Vigo is a friend of mine, I'll cast it on Vigo as well.
Thank you.
And I'm going to reboot Adam. That'll end my turn, but the set conditions isn't working for me either.
Yep, no worries. All right, so since we're basically at the top of the initiative, we just did Barnaby's turn and we're close to the halfway point and the sandbox crash. Let's go ahead and pause, take our 15-minute break here, folks. Hopefully we'll get the sandbox up and running on the other side, and then we'll continue from there. See everybody back in 15. All right, we're here in the second half of the session, right back into the thick of things. Brick is quite confident where he's at. He kind of mutters up the stairs a little bit here, but he's happy there, and we'll move to Glory's turn.
Okay, I'm gonna attack this rat next to me right there
Okay.
with my halberd.
21 certainly will hit. 9 points of damage. Yes, that rat is no more.
I'm going to use the cleave property.
Okay.
And make an attack on this rat right here.
22 will also hit. Yes, and that rat is also slain.
With 2 points of damage. It shouldn't have rolled the 7.
Oh, okay, so just a
Because-
2, ignore the 7?
Yeah. I thought I turned that on. Oh, I forgot to hit save.
All right, so that cleave will wound the creature, but not kill it. Got it, got it. Okay, so let's see, where are we at now? Move back up. Okay, rat's turn. It is going to scurry on over to here and then move up into the dead space of that rat. And it's got a few different people to attack, but it's really only going to pick between 2. So that is going to be Glory. So Glory, it's going to attack you. You will notice these rats seem to act quite a bit in unison. Essentially, they have pack tactics, so they are attacking at advantage.
How will the held actions that we had? I know several people were holding an action if they attacked. Will that go first, or will the attack of the rat go first?
So readied actions occur right after what triggers them. So the attack will happen, and then your readied actions go.
All right, sounds good.
All right, so that would be, whoop, that should have been an advantage. So 13 against Glory. I believe that's a miss, right?
That's correct.
All right, so that will miss. Okay, readied actions. Sorcerer's Burst, 16 will hit. Go ahead and post your damage.
And this will be psychic. Why is the damage not rolling? 1 second.
All right, 8 points of damage. That will kill this rat as well.
And I'll send mine.
Who is your target?
The one below Glory.
Okay. 21 will hit.
I'm trying to hit the damage die.
Works for me. Are you just clicking the little icon on the bottom?
Yeah.
Why would that be an advantage for the?
What
We're just-
advantage?
Oh,
We just
sorry. No,
We just have it clicked all the time, and we always take the first one.
No, I know. I'm sorry. I saw the Sorcerer Burst, and and for some reason I was thinking that was the Starry Wisp. So.
Yeah, sorry, I tried to click the info icon and it pasted the attack.
I saw the 10 and 21, and I just was thinking that was you, Brian. Sorry about that. I'll shut up and turn off my
No.
alt button now.
So if for some reason damage isn't working for you guys, it sounds like that's the case. Feel free to just roll the die. So it's just a D8. Just go ahead and throw that Gesh. All right, so that will kill this one. And were there other readied actions? I think someone.
Yes,
other
I
person-
had one.
All right.
It was for Sacred Flame.
All right, who is your target?
I'll target the one closest to Glory. This one right here.
Okay, 16. He is going to dodge out of the way of your Sacred
Okay.
Flame.
Perfect.
All right, that takes us to this one's turn. He's going to move up close to that dead one and attack Glory. So just be straight up. 12 is going to miss. Move to this rat's turn, who's going to scurry up here, attacking Glory at advantage. 15, I believe that does hit. Yep, AC 14. Okay, here comes damage. 4 piercing to Glory. Okay, next up is Braddock. And guys, I'm going to move the dead ones off to the side just so that the screen's not too cluttered up. But if you want to know how many you killed or where they were or whatever after, feel free to let me know.
One mechanical question. For throwing things that explode, so in this case, the jar of alchemist fire, would Braddock know how that's going to explode? Like, would he know that it's going to cover, 5 feet or 10 feet or 20? Like, does he have any concept for that? Or
I would say so. Yeah, these are general items that you could find around. Certainly, if you've spoken to people, they, common item from the PHB, I'd say you'd certainly be familiar with this. So you can assume your character knows the text of the item.
Okay, and that's right. I think reading the text of it is just a 5-foot square, so it would just be.
So you target one creature of your choice within 20 feet, and then that creature has to make a dexterity saving throw or take 1d4 of fire damage and start burning.
And does it? I guess that just the creature burns, not necessarily the square. Like it's not leaving that part of the ground on fire.
Correct. They super simplified this now, so yeah, it only does what the text says.
Got it. Okay. Okay. After all of that, Braddock is going to take a shot at the rat right in front of him. Just the one that he's just facing is climbing over his 2 dead brethren.
Okay. 12 is going to miss.
Right. And at that, he's going to pivot back. I think all the way back to here. And his turn.
All right. As we move to this rat's turn, you guys can hear the sound of a whistle that seems to be echoing down the tunnel. Zach.
I will cast Sorcerer's Burst at the one in the back.
22 certainly will hit, and the one in the back, I assume, is the one the furthest away from you, right?
Yes, correct.
All right, feel free to post your damage there. 6 points.
Yeah.
Okay, that will kill that one.
All right, that's my turn.
Okay, Shy.
Okay. I just have a really quick mechanical question. So and I'm gonna move over anyways, so I'll move the 5 feet here. If I was to throw something, say like an ice knife, and I was aiming here, would I need to make like an attack roll for that?
Yes, if you're casting a spell, it would follow
Sorry,
just the instructions exactly of the spell.
Okay, but I'm not gonna incur anything because I'm throwing it through an enemy, I suppose?
Yes, if you're using a spell that shoots, then there would be cover involved if you're shooting through an enemy.
Okay. Gotcha. That's what I was thinking. Oh, I kind of don't want to use that. Hate to hit Glory, so I don't want to do that. I will cast Firebolt at the one right in front of me.
$19 will hit. 5 points of damage. All right, as your firebolt singes out there, striking into the creature, it does indeed wound it, burning it, but this rat's a bit heftier and is still on its feet.
Alright, now bonus action to take. Alright, my turn.
Okay, Gash.
All right. 5, 10, 15, 20. Jumps off the wall. Will come off the wall and kick him in the head with an unarmed strike
Is
first.
that the one directly to your east?
Yes.
Okay. 24 will hit.
My damage button is not working, so I will roll 1d6 plus 3. So 4 points of damage.
You have wounded the rat a second time. This giant rat, though, still alive.
Oh my god. Okay. Quarterstaff to the head as my action with 2 hands. Ugh.
Missing as this marvelous rat seems to stay alive. All right, this one is the one that you had intended to attack, Zach. Yeah, I see more than you. So when you said one in the back, I picked one further away. So that one is dead, but the one further away is alive. So this guy is no turn. We will move to Vigo.
Okay, Vigo is going to stand up.
Okay.
And I guess he won't get too close. He will starry wisp this one in front of Gesh.
Okay. Going for the king rat here who survived 2 attacks. Oh, I think that's going to do him in, though. He had 1 HP left. So, yep, yeah, poor rat is dead.
Put up a good fight.
Okay. And yeah, I guess Vigo just moves up in there. And then Rat says, "You were warned, you stupid beast. Where is your master?"
He does not respond instantly. Okay, Glory.
Attack the rat.
Nine will miss.
I don't know if it matters, Glory, but do you have Bless on?
Oh, yeah, I added it.
Yep, so it was a 7, bless plus 2. If you hit your details there, you can see.
I'm going to hit my turn.
Okay, Zach.
Go for the Sorcerer's Burst on the one right in front of Glory.
Critical hit. Nice. Let's see it. That is enough to destroy that one as well.
That will be my turn.
Okay, we move to Gesh's turn.
Rats are fleeing, guys. What do we do here? I heard a whistle. Brick, don't go far. I'm gonna move back here. 5, 10, 15, 20, and get back in this hallway to look at Brick and take a dodge action.
Okay, before Braddock's turn, so before we get to that point, from down the hallway, Vigo, you will notice as a man slips out from what looks to be a hallway there. And
I see you.
He's looking in your direction. And you'll see that he has a crossbow in hand, and he says, "You better get out of here. You don't even know who our boss is. Get out here. Get out here." And then he's going to shoot a bolt at you. And here comes the shot. Critically hitting you, Vigo. Oh my goodness. Okay. This is sent to GM again. That's a second crit that I've gotten. That's only to me, unfortunately. All right, let me go back to public. Here we go.
You can do it again. Come up.
11 will miss. So after he says that, and he is then going to bounce back this way. Okay, and we are then to Braddock's turn.
Maybe we go, boys.
Randy, you afraid of like a crime boss? Speak now.
I just did.
Braddock will move up in behind Glory, and then
So,
just
hang on one sec, guys. I feel like the initiative got refigured, right? Because didn't you guys swap
Something
initiatives?
happened. Yeah, something
yeah,
happened.
something weird right there. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so since we are at the technical top of the order, let me fix this. I think one of like Braddock, you switched with.
Vigo,
Me.
right?
Yeah, me.
All right, so let me flop that to get that back. I think we might have to start actually updating the numbers so it won't just auto change on us. So I'll have to take that into consideration. And then let's see, Shy, did you switch with someone as well?
Yes, I did. I swapped with
Glory.
Glory.
All right, let me go ahead and put that back in the correct order. 21. Okay, that looks correct now. Someone shout out if they don't think so, but that should be the order. I'm going to fix the actual initiatives. And yeah, Vigo.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep going. Like we're here to find treasure, right? So we go move forward. Is there anything down that way?
So I'm going to scoot you back here. As you get to here, please roll me a D100.
Oh no, the floor's bad.
All right, you step to there. No, you don't see anything other than what you see on the screen. Feel free to continue moving. Throw me a D100.
Can I see that the floor is weak?
You're moving pretty quick, so I would say no. But now you can, because as you step to there, once again, the floor is going to break out from underneath you, and I'll need a dexterity saving throw.
Do dwarves have feet digging capabilities or something? Maybe magical boots to auto dig? I don't know.
No, they have the distinct ability to find traps in the floor.
That is a success, so you can spend 5 feet of movement to move to a space that is not in the hole.
Can I go diagonally over here, or is a wall in the way?
You can't go through the wall, no. You could go east. Yeah, you could do that, yeah.
Okay. And I was here, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I see a piece of something. Going one more, risking it. And I will starry wisp at this person.
Okay, I'm gonna give significant cover there because you're have like the thinnest line possible that doesn't go through a wall. That is going to miss.
Okay. Would bless matter?
No.
Okay. Is the end of my turn?
Barnaby.
Careful of the floor.
I see that. All right, and I am going to take the dodge action.
Okay. Rick will scoot up a little bit. Did you guys find them all? Kill them all? Are we good? Glory.
No, we're not. Stay close.
I'd like to move carefully, like tapping the floor ahead of me as I walk. Would
Okay.
that be half speed?
Yes. Yep.
How about dash?
Okay. Okay,
there?
so I'm going to put you here as you're tapping ahead and you're moving carefully. When you tap this space just to your east, you can feel that it gives way just slightly. So you can still move there if you wish, but I didn't make you move there because you know that.
No, I won't move there. I will end my turn here, but I will say, careful right here. Floor will give.
All right, and then before that dead rat's turn, all right, another guy's going to poke out, scans all of you very briefly, and he's going to fire a shot at Vigo. 15 against Vigo, whose AC is 15. That looks like it hit on the dot for 6 points of damage. All right, and then before Braddock's turn, okay, Braddock's turn.
All right. So he sees a little bit of what's going on down below. So we'll try to engage. So we'll do 5, 10, 20, 30. Then, sorry, I should have had a measurement out here. Yep, perfect. He will hold his action, just steady his crossbow. Oh, actually, that guy he didn't duck back in. He's still standing out there.
If you can see somebody there, you can see him.
Yes. I need to. Well, I guess it'd be a disadvantage because he's just out of my range. But yes, he'll fire a shot at the guy that's standing there.
All right, so you said this is at disadvantage, and you're firing. Yeah, okay, I'm going to give him a little bit of cover as well. Feel free to make your attack.
I think my hand crossbow's only got 30 foot. Yeah, 3120, so let's just go for that. 12? Oh, this minus the cover.
That is going to miss.
Okay. Yeah, I'll end my turn.
Okay, Shy.
Okay. Let me measure up here. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. All right, I'll move up the 20 feet. And then I will cast Healing Word on Vigo.
The healing wizard.
What's the word?
Nice.
And because it is my background, it won't use the spell slot, and I'll make sure to report that. But I also... Oh, did our light sources get reset when we got moved to this map?
Yes, yep. So if you had one on the
Okay.
previous one, you can feel free to add it now.
I don't think that is working for me. Hold on. I might be... There we go. Okay. That looks a lot better, but I also still don't see anything. So I will end my turn.
All right, I'm going to do some more shifting of corpses just to clean up the battlefield. Okay, Zach.
Okay, I'm gonna run over and around. I have 35 feet of movement, so end there. And since I can see this guy in front of me, I think I can. It's like half faded. Does that mean I can see him or not?
I would say you can barely see him.
Okay, I will cast Mind Sliver on him. It's a DC
Alright.
14. Sorry, it did the
Intelligence
damage.
save.
But
Yep, no worries. Intelligence save. 14, so he succeeds.
okay, and that will be my turn.
Okay, Gesh.
Brick, don't move. 5, 10,
Oh,
15.
okay.
5, 10, 15. Starry Wisp heading towards the lonely dude over there.
11 is going to miss. All right, this guy is going to poke out, take a shot at Glory. Critically hitting Glory. For 4, yep, that's right, 4 points of damage. He's then going to back into the corner there, and we move to Vigo's turn.
Okay. Vigo takes his glowing quarterstaff.
Okay, as you step to there, please roll me a D100, please, Vigo. Okay, feel free to continue moving.
This floor will never fall, baby. Oh no, there's a bunch in there. Watch out, everyone. And he will swing the shillelagh.
$15 will hit. Smacking into this gentleman in his armored body, and he's got wearing this like leathery armor, but yeah, you smack into it, wounding him.
You've mistreated the rats.
All right, Barnaby.
All right, I'm gonna chance it.
As you step to there, Barnaby, please throw me a D100. Okay.
Am I able to tell that it gives a little bit?
I would say based on you guys having this experience multiple times now, yes.
And so I'm going to go ahead and stab out at the as you called him, the gentleman.
Yes, yeah, of course. 24, yeah, that'll certainly hit. Okay, he is croaked.
All right. And I'm going to tell folks that where I just was, it seemed the floor may have been a little weak there. And I'm going to go ahead and end my turn.
Brick says, you're doing a great job, Gash. Yeah, good job. Glory.
Okay, again, moving carefully. Up to there. In an action, healing hands on myself.
Okay.
Bonus action, I will rage.
All right, this guy's turn. So he's going to move on up, stepping into this space. Let's see. He's going to attack you, but basically what he's doing, Vigo, is he's reaching his hand out trying to grab you.
Okay.
So let me just make sure I've got this right, because I know they changed grapple just a little bit, but I believe you can just replace an attack with grapple. So how I'm going to do this is I'm going to roll it like this. Okay, so it would be a grapple. He gets to use this mod, so that's going to be a 16 to grapple you, which is going to hit you. And then he is going to move you to here, and I'll need you to throw a D100.
Was that an unarmed strike or?
It takes the place of that, but he's proficient in unarmed strikes. Okay,
Wow.
so that is going to, the floor is going to give way. Normally I would say make a dexterity save and throw here, but because you're grappled, you're not going to be able to move out. So basically the floor gives way, and then as it breaks away, you're falling. Like he's kind of got you, you start to fall, and he basically just lets go. I guess I'll say, you know, throw me a dexterity save at disadvantage. Maybe you can grab at the last moment, like your hand. Okay, all right, excellent roll. So I will say you've got a hand.
Nice.
What was in your hands, right? Just the quarterstaff?
Yeah, just the quarter stuff.
Okay, so basically imagine you start to fall and you get your hand up there and you hold on to it. However, the bad news here is that, as you'll notice, there's this cart here. So as this falls, you notice the cart is coming with it. So the cart kind of swings over, smashes into you as it's falling. It's not going to do the full damage to you because it's not landing on top of you, but it's still going to hit you as it's coming down. So that's going to be 4 points of bludgeoning damage as it hits into you, but you're just barely holding on to the wall there, for you, what is basically the floor. So after he does that, he is going to stay there. All right, then we move to this guy's turn, who's going to move to here. And when he gets to here, he's going to attack you, Vigo. So this, you know, essentially you're prone, if you want to think of it that way. He's attacking you at advantage with his scimitar. An 11. I think that's going to miss. So you manage to dodge as you're holding onto the ledge, and we move to Braddock.
Sorry, is Vigo in a hole? He's down.
Vigo is holding onto the edge of a hole, and he is just bracing himself.
Got it.
Can we see the hole? Did it pop? Did it become visible?
It didn't. It's totally one of those magical invisible holes. One moment.
I'm sorry, I promise I don't love holes.
Thanks for the
Didn't you
reminder.
say earlier you're never gonna fall in one again or something?
He's so clever.
Okay, Braddock is just, he thinks he knows, he's been watching sort of how things are going here, so he's just going to move 5. There we go. 5, 10, 15, 20. And pop over here, 25.
As you step to there, Braddock, please throw me a D100.
Oh, I thought I had it figured out. He thinks he's so
All
clever.
right, you are good.
And at that, he's going to fire on this guy that pushed Vigo down.
Okay. 16 will hit.
Now, I do get sneak attack if I have an ally within 5 feet, because Vigo is...
Post the exact text of what it says for sneak attack. I usually assume it's because the person's distracted, like participating in an attack kind of thing, but if it doesn't specify, I'll give it to you. And if you're not able to post it, I got it in the compendium here, just pulling it up real quick.
Vigo's just tickling his toes, you know?
Yeah.
Distracting him.
You don't need advantage on the attack roll if at least one of your allies is within 5 feet. Oh, the
Yeah,
ally
he's
doesn't have to
not
be
incapacitated. So, yeah, I will say probably it's not that Vigo's doing anything, but it's this guy like trying to stomp on Vigo's hands that's distracting him enough for you to get sneak attack. So, yeah, sure.
Excellent.
8 points of damage. That bolt is going to catch him right in the throat, and he's going to collapse on down.
Excellent. And he will... I guess the floor was a little shaky. He's actually going to stay. Well, no, the floor was shaky. He's going to move back against the wall here, back where the floor felt a little more solid. Okay, my turn.
All right, I'm going to move bodies once again just to make it a little easier. Okay, running out of the hallway here is a giant rat who's going to try to snack on Vigo's fingertips there, attacking at advantage.
Please, no, brother. I'm a giant rat, too. I was turned into a dwarf.
He's not buying it. 19 to hit you for 5 points of damage. As he bites onto your fingertips here, Vigo, I'm going to ask you to give me an athletics check to see if you can hold on to the side of the wall here. This is just a DC 10. Unfortunately, as the rat makes snacks of your little piggies, you fall down into the hole. Because the cart remains are down there, you kind of smash into them. It's not going to hurt you as badly, but I am going to say you take 1 additional point of damage from the fall. All right, we move to this one's turn, who's going to make his way quickly out. Sees he's got another opponent there in Glory, and he's going to try to bite Glory. Critically hitting Glory.
Oof.
For 7, but I believe, Glory, you declared a rage, right? So that's going to be cut down to 3 for you. All right, that's that rat's turn. We move to Shy.
Ooh. Make sure I don't need this. Can I see Vigo?
No, Vigo is down the hole now. You cannot see him.
Okay. That is unfortunate for you, Vigo, because that means I cannot heal you.
Yeah.
Oh, but this could be potentially. So would that put him out of range of 5 feet from this rat or anything hitting here?
Correct. You don't see Vigo, so you don't believe he's within 5 feet. Now, if for some reason he's like, the thing that fell down, if he's elevated. So basically, what I'm going to say is you don't know.
Oh, okay. That makes me even. Ooh. I don't want to be the reason why Vigo dies, so I'm going to go ahead and cast Firebolt at the rat that is currently attacking Glory.
All right. You feel free to make your attack. 23, that'll certainly hit. That is a Scorcher. That is going to take that giant rat out.
And then, let's see. I don't think it's going to be beneficial for me to move, so I'll end my turn.
Okay, move to Zach's turn.
It's this like cart thing in front of me that doesn't exist, right? This is just normal terrain.
It exists, but it's not enough to cause you to make it difficult terrain.
Okay. All right. So I'll start moving down. 5, 10, 15. Can I see? But like, so since Vigo is in the hole, do I have a clear line of sight to the guy behind the rat?
I mean, the
Or would
rat
the
would
rat
be
be-
providing him cover if you're shooting like a straight line type of spell.
Yeah. So if I took a step over, then would that still be cover, or can I get like an angle if I?
So basically, you draw a line, and if the line goes through the token, so yeah, I would say from there you're still going to have small cover. If you could move all the way to here, I would say that's barely, but from there you're still going through part of the token. So yeah, I would give him cover.
All right, I'll take one more step over then to get a clean line of shot or line of
Okay.
sight, and then I will bonus action cast innate sorcery. Where is that spell? The resource reporting thing doesn't seem to be working, so I'll do one left.
Okay, appreciate that. Yeah, I'm guessing there's some issue right now with the sandbox.
And then I am going to cast Chromatic Orb at the guy in the back that I can see.
Okay. $21 will hit.
All right, and we'll make this, I guess, thunder damage.
12 thunder damage. All right, as the chromatic orb flies out, strikes right into him. That is enough to drop him to the ground.
And then that's also a resource that's not tracking, so I'll type that too.
Okay.
And that will be my turn. Actually, I have 5 feet of movement left, so I'm gonna take a step into this the corridor right here.
Okay.
And that will end my turn.
All right, Gash.
Rick, stay close behind me. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. From there, I grab some elemental magic from the weave and send a starry wisp at the rat.
Doesn't work. There's no weave in Midgard. All right, so that will hit.
1d8 of radiant.
4 is exactly how much HP he had. He is dropped as well.
I'm that good. And then I'm going to move there. And I will end my turn.
All right, you're gonna hear. Yeah, on second thought, go ahead. You guys can go on your way, but you don't want to come this way. There's like traps and it's dangerous and stuff. And then you hear the sound of a door being closed. All right, Vigo, down in the hole, laying on a broken cart and wood splinters all around you. Probably had enough fun for one day. What would you like to do?
He is going to cast Cure Wounds on himself.
Okay.
And Gesh will say, should we just leave him in there?
It seems to be his natural habitat.
Nice, 11 back.
Oh, is that a dwarf joke?
I'm just kidding. We need you to find more pits.
First off, is there any valuables in the cart that fell down here?
If you'd like to spend some time searching, you can, but technically we're still in initiative order, so nothing on a quick glance.
No, he'll try to get out of the hole.
Okay, throw me an athletics check to see if you can, grab up onto the ledge, leap up there, and pull yourself up.
Can I guide myself since I'm not using an action?
I think Cure Wounds was your action, right?
Oh, you're right. All right.
Okay, with a 16, you do manage to grasp onto the ledge and pull yourself up. Call that 20 feet to pull yourself up prone.
He's getting better at it.
Yes.
Experience.
No more holes for me. He went in here. I heard him retreat like a little baby. That's the end of my turn.
Okay, Barnaby. I think, guys, to keep with the essence of time, because there's no obvious threats right now, unless anybody disagrees, I think I'm going to go ahead and cancel combat here. You guys good with that?
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
All right, we are out of combat, folks. Feel free to move as you wish.
Oh, stop moving. I'm just Gesh. Stop. We got to search for that third. There's a pit right under your feet, I think, Glory.
Yeah, there's one I found over here.
Glory
Right under
did
your
just
feet,
step
Glory.
into it. Glory, throw me a D100, please.
This is the fastest way to find it.
All right, yes, you feel it tense under your feet, and you remember, oh, that's right, I even knew about this one. It is right there. And because you guys kind of know about this one now, I'm going to reveal this just so it's a little bit more obvious.
Yeah, I was just going to grab the wagon and push it over.
I think we should head back for the day. We got all of the jobs done, so.
let's check these bodies first.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
suppose a few large rats will make Brick happy.
And we killed some of these people too.
Hey, Brick, get over here and start cleaving up these rats. Free rat stew meat.
That's great. Yeah, I'll just see to it. Oh, you said the trap's right there? Okay, I'll avoid that. All right, he takes to doing just that, like looking over the bodies and seeing what he can do.
I didn't want to tell him what the trap was, Adam.
Oh, I thought I was trying to go
Just
faster,
kidding.
but
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Radical will start checking over one of the dead dudes that we killed.
Sure, yeah. So as far as equipment, these gentlemen had scimitars and light crossbows, of course, bolts on them as well. Based on the number that you killed, assuming a quick check, please roll me 3d10. You find 22 silver pieces among the three of them.
Radical take the bolts. I think he's the only one with the crossbow. And some silver. 7. So he'll distribute 3 each and sleight of hand the spare one.
For like mundane weapons and things, are we able to sell those, or is that something that like nobody would bother buying?
Generally speaking, once it's like battle worn in the city, most people don't buy them. I mean, if you took a bunch of stuff back, they might give you something really small for like a huge load. But yeah, like generic equipment kind of stuff generally doesn't have much of a resale value.
Okay, yeah, I was just seeing if it was worth like, you know, if we're leaving already, just grab one to go sell it. But normally it
Right.
doesn't.
Yeah, difference would be like if you found like a suit of half plate or full plate. Of course, that's a different story. But you know, your random kind of odd weapons and that kind of thing. Yeah, not really.
Okay.
There's my inventory of bolts I'll draw from each time we go back.
I'm also gonna like keep an eye out because we didn't kill everything to make sure that we're not, you know, like getting flanked or something like that.
Sure, yep. I will assume, generally speaking, you guys always keep your eyes on the lookout for like threats and sort of. But yep, good to know that that's kind of what you're visually doing as you're scanning around.
I think we should look in this one last room.
Might as well.
Sure that
We've already pissed him off. We killed 2 of the goons. So, or 3 maybe even. I don't remember.
Also, we don't want to let them regroup. Take them out while they're weak.
I think he said something about traps, so just be careful.
Yes, through this other door though, maybe. Can Vigo look to see if there's any obvious traps?
Sure, give me an investigation check as you're searching around for traps. Not that you see. Bless still has a duration of 1 minute. Is that right, Barnaby?
Yeah.
So pretty close to that wearing off. I'd say you maybe have like another 2 rounds on it.
Okay.
Fair enough.
He doesn't see any, so he goes in.
All right, so you're entering this small room here, Vigo. You can see that there are these barrels amongst the room, both on the east wall and on the west wall there. There's obviously the door on the west wall as well. And then to your south, you can see a small desk with a chair in front of it. It looks like there's just a couple odds and ends on top of the desk, a piece of parchment here or there, what looks like some type of cigar as well.
Okay. Vigo's always curious about who he's making enemies with, so he's going to go over to the desk first and see if there's any sort of identifying papers.
So in the pieces of parchment, you do notice kind of a theme here. A lot of the parchment looks to be blank or like it's prepped for use, but hasn't been actually used yet. But you do notice this kind of fancy squiggle writing of a really large N in the lower right corner of these pieces of parchment. Seems to be something significant.
Just grab everything with writing on it.
Yeah, he'll scoop it all up and then see if there's any drawers. He'll try to open them.
Yes, yep. So you find mostly odds and ends like an inkwell here or there, quill, scraps of paper that have been kind of tossed aside. Doesn't seem to be anything of value.
Okay. He'll look in the barrels
All
on
right.
the way out.
Testing the barrels, you can see that they are indeed containing something. They have weight to them. If you kind of knock on them, you can tell it's a liquid. They sloshes around. Without popping them open, you're not sure, but you would guess probably like water or ale.
Just normal stuff in there. But I did get some of their writings. See if we can figure out who they are.
excellent.
That's good. Let's maybe be to retreat ourselves.
Who's the good reader? Because I keep getting all this written stuff, and I'm not good at reading.
I can look over anything like such.
All right. Leo hands it over. Any stuff with that signature that he got from that desk?
Leafing through it, is it just all the same thing?
It almost there's probably about 5 pieces of spare parchment here. Think of this almost as like letterhead, right? So it's on the desk ready for someone to write a message. The symbol of who it's coming from is already there, that N in the lower right corner, but it doesn't contain any writing currently.
Okay.
Braddock will do a quick check on both the bodies again to see again if there's any tattoos or rings or marks again. The gang.
Sure,
gang
yeah, throw me
affiliation.
an investigation check there, Braddock. Not on most of them. On this guy that you killed, you do notice, like, at the back of his neck, you see that there is an N that sort of looks like it was branded there, probably by a hot iron, and it seems to match the N on the parchment.
Thinking back through maybe some of the history of the city, would this call to mind any attention?
Nothing immediately jumps to mind, no.
Braddock
When
will, roll the bodies into the hole.
Okay, it's just the one closest to you guys here, so you can just pile them all into here?
Yep.
All right, you do so.
when we heard that whistle earlier, was that something that like would have been from a device, or just something like somebody's fingers, or just like them just whistling naturally?
I would guess you'd probably think it was just a natural whistle, not from like an actual device. Probably just, yeah, fingers and blowing.
Okay.
All right, I've got these rats all ready to go, but can you guys help me carry them again? There's more here than last time. Uncle Skirtle's going to be really happy. We're going to be stocked up for a while.
Yeah, we can help.
Yes.
Great.
And then-
Yeah, great.
I'll take this moment in Draconic, since I've been hanging out with Brick a little bit. I'll say, does Cragclaw like rat meat too in Draconic?
In Draconic back to you, he will say,
Sometimes, yeah, but he likes the fancy stuff.
And then I'll just want to ask, does he live in the city or is he just visiting?
No, he's a king. He's in the Kobold Ghetto. He rules there.
Oh, I see. Well, I'd love to meet him sometime, but yeah, let's pack this out.
Guess, are you talking, like, I assume decently loud? Or at least normal conversation?
Yeah, conversation level, yep.
I will ask, because I also speak Draconic, overhearing this, I would like to ask Brick, is he on the council?
No, he's not. No, he's just a Kobold King.
Why are you all hissing at each other?
Just sorting out who's gonna carry what.
I'm pretty tired from all the pits.
You did great.
All right, so guys, the two things we could do here. We could go back the way we came. That's probably the safest. If we want to do that, it'll take a little bit longer. I do know a shortcut, but it goes through an area we haven't been through before. What do you think?
Let's just go the way we came.
Yeah, I agree.
All
Fair
right,
enough.
let's go then.
And you see he carries one of the rats, and make sure you guys each are grabbing onto a rat as he starts making his way back. Anything special you guys are doing other than holding on to these giant rats and making your way back?
Braddock will play out a little piece of rope and hand it to Vigo. Here, touch on your waist. It'll make it easier for us to pull you out of the hole next time.
Funny. I just was staying closer to the back, maybe. I don't know.
Gives him a little elbow and puts the rope away.
And then I will, if the rope's still there, I'll hand it back to Glory, so you still have it on your inventory sheet. I don't know if Glory picked it up or not.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So unless there's anything in particular you're wanting to do, you guys follow the safe path back the way you came. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary as you're making your way back. It seems mostly, same that you did on the way here. So sure enough, you find yourself eventually emerging back out into the city proper. All right, find yourself back in Zobek carrying these giant rats. You'll definitely notice people are even more offended now as you have these giant rats in hand, and you hear people saying like, oh, they should have these sewer workers take a different path so we don't have to smell them. And these other kind of odd comments, right? Just very distasteful. Obviously still not very happy with Brick. But yeah, you guys slowly make your way through all these back city streets and so forth. And after spending a good 15 minutes or so through these different ways, you notice that Brick doesn't direct you the same way you came the first time. You guys find yourself back at the Rampant Roach. Okay, and heading back inside the restaurant, you can feel free to move your tokens, quickly if you wish. But yes, Brick will head in. He'll take the rats off of you guys, take them back to supplies. Skirtle seems to be very happy with this, and yeah, you guys are free to roam.
Have any of you been able to look at that special book?
Well, because also, you guys mentioned something about a dagger. We got some stuff to sort through here at this table. Should we go in that corner where the sneaky rogue is going?
Sure.
I need a quick reminder. One of us is a Goliath. Is that correct?
Yes, it's Zach.
Zach. Okay. Thank you.
He's very tall and very frail, so he kind of looks almost alien.
Hey, copy that.
All right, you guys make your way over to this corner table here nearby the bar, and yeah, it sounds like you guys are wanting to look through some of the things that you've just discovered.
Yes, I want to take a look at that letterhead, see if it's like, is there like a sigil or something on there that any of us would recognize?
No
It's the
sigil,
same as
but
the tattoo.
right, the end's really fancy though, so yeah, I don't think any of you guys would recognize this. This is not like prominent enough that it would be something that you would find regularly.
Stabs at the end.
Is this something that like any of us, in the know of the city would know maybe who to bring this to and figure out, like who that is?
I would say in general, talking to like tavern owners or maybe even Skirtle perhaps would have information.
I was about to say I wanted to ask Sturtle if he knows of anybody with this N symbol.
You'll notice Skirtle's like, let me see it. You're gonna hand him one of these pieces of parchment.
Yeah.
So he'll look over the piece of parchment, and then you see he kind of looks at it and he just sort of nods. This is that were-rat gang member. He's like the gang boss. Nevok.
Can you put that in chat?
I sure can.
No wonder they had so many big rats with them.
What do you know about this boss and his gang? What would they be doing down there?
Anything that's illegal. Anything they can do to make coin. They're kind of filthy monsters down there.
And do they normally attack on sight?
I don't really encounter them very much. When people talk about them, they just say steer away from the cartways. You don't have to deal with them.
So did we kill the boss? I'll look around everybody.
I don't believe so.
One of them had that branded to the back of his neck, but he didn't really have boss written onto him. He kind of was an idiot.
Yeah, it didn't feel very bossy, did it?
Usually a brand means property.
We should probably put a P on the back of your net.
For what? Pit?
Hit. We should probably have some mail.
Did somebody say that they found a spell book?
I don't know if it's spells. It was a fancy leather book. Zach has it.
Oh, do you mind if I look over that?
I'll produce it and give it to you.
Thank you.
It looks encrypted. I don't know how to read it.
Upon me trying to read it, what do I walk away with?
So the book itself is a grimoire. It looks like, I think Zach already determined this, but you'd probably be able to piece this together pretty easily as well. It is certainly a spell book. You would know that a lot of wizards tend to encode their spell books, making them more difficult to read. So you would need some kind of magic to understand what spells are stored within. Usually something like the Identify spell is sufficient.
If you don't know that spell, perhaps we could bring it to my magic shop and pay for the service to read it.
Would I have the spell, but it doesn't it cost a pearl worth 100 GP?
That is correct.
Perhaps we could rent one.
And I suppose comprehend languages wouldn't do the trick.
You don't suspect, no.
Because it's literal meanings, which I probably won't help in decoding. Well, based on
All
what we
right.
saw,
You guys have only been sitting around here a little bit, and as you're trying to decipher this information, Shy, looking at this book and trying to like piece two and two together, suddenly the sound of shattered glass cascades through the rampant roach. A fist-sized rock that was hurled in from the street outside splashes into a raven pie on a table by the window. The woeful din of a small mob echoes from outside, and a dry old voice shouts, "Come out, you scaly mutt! We know you're in there!"
Bricks comeuppance is here.
I suspect we're about to do some overtime.
Which window did that come through?
It came from the southern window, so down over here.
Brick, get over here now.
You notice both Skick and Skack kind of back up and seem to be in a protective stance by him.
Was he referring to Vigo?
We should just be ready. We didn't take them by surprise. They probably don't know we're here.
we could try to disperse the crowd.
You hear what sounds like
Everybody-
a sling stone pelt against the wall, and then another one.
I don't know if I would need to do like anything special for this, but I want to try to make my way up to like that window and peek through it to see, like, to get an idea of like numbers, people that are out there.
Are you trying to make your way there without being detected?
Yes.
Can I touch them and give them guidance for stealth?
That one I'm going to say no, because there's no like verbal thing like, hey, I'm going to go sneak up there, right? Like he's just asking that from a game perspective, so you would have no idea what he's about to do. But yes, Zach, go ahead and throw me a stealth roll, and feel free to start moving yourself up there. Okay, so you're, trying to stay low, do what you can as you're, trying to get closer to the window and get an idea of numbers. All right, so as you're getting a bit closer towards the window, kind of glancing out that way, you notice a bit of a well-dressed gentleman outside of the front area. You can see him holding this blade as he's looking at the window, the scowl on his face as you glance through and try to see how many people are there behind him. You see he turns and you see he looks at you, and he gives you this like furrowed brow and narrows his eyes as he's looking at you.
I'm take one more step to kind of get out of line of sight, and I'll hold up 3 fingers back to the group, because that's how many I saw.
If you're not involved in this, then get on out. We're not here for you. We're here for that twerp.
Hey, Adam, I didn't open this door right next to me. I'm not sure how that happened, but do we know? Would Braddock know if this is a side entrance or?
That is a, I'm trying to think of the best term, but that's a bathroom, but I forget what they're called in these days.
Privy.
Privy, there we go. I couldn't think of it. It wasn't coming to mind. That is a privy.
So he would smell it. He would know this.
If the door has been opened, yes.
No, but he did not. Okay. Yeah. So he's, I think, similarly going to just stay a step behind Zach, and I think follow him up there.
You hear more stones pelting off the walls. You see Skirtle looks at you guys.
Ah, what's going on? Don't let him get bricked.
Yeah, and we gotta stop the damage. We gotta go talk to him.
Yeah, I agree.
Double
I
our
will-
fee.
I will go. Friends, there's no reason to be destroying property and trying to hurt people.
You, devil worshiper, get out of here!
Who's that?
Who's the devil worshiper?
Everybody knows you gnomes are all with those devil deals. Get going!
Oh, unfortunately, those are my cousins from the other forest. I'm local here.
Sure, and I'm a hill giant.
Oh my gosh, you're kind of small for a hill giant.
You see, he looks back at the other guy who's dressed well and says, "Can you believe this guy?" The more well-dressed gentleman steps up in front and he looks at you all and he says, "Yeah, you guys go. Get out of here. We just want the little one."
Are you guards?
I am Heston Strayk. He is the one who kidnapped my daughter.
Oh, Heston, we are very... Master... What's your last name, please?
Strayk.
Master Strake, we're so sorry for the loss of your daughter, but we are trying to also investigate the situation for the owners of this establishment are saying they are innocent. So we are trying to find out the truth of it all.
Go ahead and throw me a persuasion check there, Barnaby. You see, he looks at you and he says, "Oh, is that so? So he's actually finally doing something about this, trying to see what you can find out. Well, I'll tell you what, you see this dagger in my hand right here? This is that little shit Brick's dagger. I had it before, I looked at this, I cleaned it up, I know it's his. Why in the world would this be in Rosalind's bedchamber?"
In truth, he did mention that the dagger was in your possession. May I take a look at it? I don't know if that would help, but would you mind if I do?
If you've got the balls to come out here and take it from me, yeah, you can take a look.
I don't want to take it from you, young master. I just would like to take a look at it and, and see.
All right, as you step a bit closer to him, you notice him and the gentleman closest to him are eyeing you very carefully. These other folks that are behind kind of start sidling up as well. But you'll notice that Heston will flip the dagger around and he'll hold it out towards you.
Master Heston, I've heard that you're the one that helped sharpen this dagger. Is that correct? You're pretty good with the skill. This is why they went to you in the first place. Is that accurate?
Yes, that is correct.
And is there any distinct marking that would prove that it is definitely the kobolds, and or are there ones that are very similar to it?
Look at the grip. You see the grip there, right? You see those little indentations in the grip? That's from a fucking kobold claws piercing into the grip. It's so obvious.
is it something that I could see, Adam?
Now that he points it out to you, yeah, there does seem to be these slight indentations.
And are we sure that it is the same kobold? I've seen a few of them in the city.
Oh, give me a break. Are you serious? You're trying to find any excuse. This is ridiculous. It's clearly his dagger.
I don't know whose dagger. I'm just trying to ask good questions to a smart man.
Ask Brick to get out here. Tell that little shit to get out here. You ask him.
He has told us that he had a dagger, so I don't know. Do you know why he would have left it behind?
Maybe he dropped it after he was done kidnapping and dragging her away. My Rosalind would have put up a fight. She wouldn't have went without any trouble.
Do you have... Sorry. Do you have an assistant?
I have multiple assistants. It all depends on how much work I have. Why? What does it matter?
Well, Brick is not very big, and you just said that your daughter would fight back. I bet your daughter would win that fight.
You see he kind of looks towards you for a little bit, and you see him kind of almost nod slowly himself. Yeah, I can. Maybe she'd be able to knock that little shit out.
Yeah, so I would agree 1,000%. And if that's the case, then there's no way that he kidnapped her.
You notice Heston turns to the other men standing next to him, and he says, What do you think, Victus? And you see that man he just mentioned looks towards you all, and he nods, and he says, That's what I think too, Heston. I don't think Rosalind would have been just grabbed by him. Something's shady. It's not right, but they do make sense. You see Heston looks back towards you all, looks at you for a moment, Barnaby, and he holds his hand out as though to say, Give me the dagger back.
And I will hand it to him, obviously handle first.
Okay, he'll take it from you, and then he'll say, If he wasn't the one that took her, he knows something. Find out. We won't wait forever. You got it?
Yes, sir, Master. And I tell you, we do not put up with. We're hoping to be able to find her, and help her as well, because we don't want to, we don't want any criminals in our neighborhoods.
You see, he will clasp you like on the shoulder, and he'll say, "If you find her, bring her back." Come on,
and I'll kind of give not just a nod, but kind of a partial bow nod, kind of.
All right, you'll notice he steps back here and he says, "All right, people, come on, let's go." And you hear some people going, "Oh, come on, we're not going to beat the shit out of that kobold. We can take him. These guys aren't nothing. Look at these pussies. We can totally take these guys." No, it's we got to come back later. And well, they made a good point. Rosalind wouldn't have let herself get kidnapped by Brick. We got to figure out more before we just come and destroy this guy's place. Oh, come on.
Before you leave, would you permit us to view your residence and see if we can find any clues?
You see he turns back and he looks at you. Oh my God, what the fuck are you supposed to be?
I'm just an interesting character.
Yeah, that seems to be most of you here. Are any of you guys normal? Maybe the human there. That's about it. But, well, if you want to search outside my house, outside the shop, feel free. But don't be go poking on inside. You got it?
We'll make sure to consult with you on a visit.
You see he kind of gives almost like a... all right, let's go, please, people. Let's go before we cause any trouble here. You hear again. There's
Thank
a
you,
little
sir,
bit more
for your kindness.
He gives you a nod as you hear a bit more grumbles and stuff from the crowd. But they do indeed make their way away from the building.
Well done.
Nicely done.
This is
That
like
was
the
a very good
BG3
point.
playthrough where someone maxed their charisma to the top and they just skip all the battles by good persuasion checks. That's what we're doing with here so far.
He seems like a nice gentleman. I understand. He's just a concerned father.
We would all have done the same.
No, Adam in BG3, I purposely try to fight, so
Oh, okay.
So on that note, seeing that tensions have been quelled. Are there any other exits behind these doors back behind the bar? That's the only entrances that we can see if we look around?
You see a couple of doors. You don't know if they go to exits or not. I would say those of you that are like locals, if you've spent any time around the Rampant Roach, you don't know that there's like a back entrance.
Hey, Skirtle, where do these doors go to?
One's to the kitchen and one's to my room.
I'm gonna look around. We just got attacked. Gotta make sure it's clear.
Okay. Just don't get burned in the kitchen.
Alright, there's a kitchen.
You must have a. Oh, don't we know of the exit? Didn't we load rats in from a side entrance or a back entrance?
He took them to the back to like prep them, but yeah, it's not like a walkway sort of thing. Think of it almost as like cold storage. You can kind of slip stuff in.
Oh, that's where you fed the bodies in. Okay. You must have another way in and out of this place, not just the front door, Skirtle.
Yeah, that's just the front door.
I hear them talking. Can you describe his bedroom now that I'm in it?
Nice sized bed, foot locker over there on the east wall. There's a bookcase on the west wall that has a few just smatters of books like parchments, little binders, journals, that sort of thing. And then it looks like there's a small heating element or like little stove there in the northwest corner. And then you can see right next to the bed, there's like, think of it almost as like a side table.
As I continue to hear voices, I'm gonna open up one of the drawers in the side table.
Okay, yeah, you open the drawer. You can see that there's a couple of just odds and ends there. You notice like a beetle necklace. It looks like it's small stones in the shape of beetles lying there in the drawer. But as you're stepping there, you notice Skirtle looking up through the doorway. He's like,
Nobody's in there, right?
No, you're clear. Everything's fine. All right.
All right. Come enjoy some food then.
I'll close
Get
the
out of my
drawer
room.
and leave. Oh, that was a good opportunity. I couldn't pass that.
Gesh, when you have a second, you should fix that window.
Ah, yes. Hey, Skirtle, I'm gonna get some fresh meat. I'm gonna head down here and fix your tavern up a little bit. Good point.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. Wow, you guys did such a great job. That could have gone really, really bad. Well, you know what? How about this? I know it's only been 2 days, but I feel like you guys have gone above and beyond. So here's your 15 gold.
and you see he puts a pouch of the coins.
But you know what? I think remember how I told you I could give you a favor, right? From the Kobold King.
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Well, I think it's time to call in that favor. How about you guys take Brick and Skick and Skack? You guys go visit the Kobold King. Go see him, and Brick can let him know what's going on, and he'll probably have some questions and stuff to ask you. But yeah, I think Brick needs the protection of the Kobold King. If that group comes back here, who knows what's gonna happen?
Agreed. You're going to want to have some extra locks on that door and maybe some buckets of water, just in case they decide to throw something on fire through one of those windows.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You never know.
I'm doing the mending here for the windows, and I'll come back. Make sure you have that chocolate lava cake when we go.
Oh yes, I heard that's
so-
the king's favorite.
I'm always a little cautious of mending becoming too powerful, but I will say, because again, this was just a stone and not the entire pane shattered, it was just like a hole. It is less than a foot, so sure, that works.
Thank you there.
And I don't know if you guys have mistakenly said this. Multiple of you guys have said that without maybe necessarily reading the menu very closely. But it's actually larva cake, not lava cake. But yeah, Skirtle will be like,
Sure, I'll get you the larva cake.
Boy, are they in for a surprise. Alright, I guess we need to decide if we are going to see the Kobold King tomorrow or go check out the residence of where the crime happened.
It may also be
Knows?
worth taking a visit to a magic shop to see if they can identify any of these items.
did also liberate this, and he pulls out the alchemist kit. I think we can sell it for a fair bit, unless one of you big brains want to try to make some stuff out of it. Not really my thing.
Yeah, I
Do
say we
you think
sell
so?
I'm not going to be able to use the kit.
Oh, Carl,
Not a
says
skill
that
set
you
for
can make-
me.
You can make perfume out of it if it calls that out specifically, but we're happy to sell it too. It's worth 50.
I mean, maybe. I'd have to look. I honestly don't remember what the rules are for those kits for proficiency to do anything with them.
They're heavy as shit. It's 8 pounds.
All right, so guys, we're nearing the end of our session here. It sounds like you guys have a decision to make. So can we get that decision so we know how to start next session? Are you guys planning to take Brick directly to the Kobold King? Are you trying to head to Heston's residence and shop first to search around there to see if you can learn anything? Are you wanting to go to a magic shop in town to see if you can identify things? Which of those would you like to follow up on first?
I think
I'd
the
say-
father's house, because we already have goodwill.
Yeah, I think Father Magic King.
I like that order.
And maybe a long rest in between going to the king.
I think we're taking a long rest right now, I believe.
All right, so it sounds like you guys would like to, this is kind of still early in the day, but finish out the rest of your day not doing anything too impactful. Take a long rest, regroup in the morning, and then start taking care of those 3 things?
Yes.
All right, fair enough. So we are at the end of session time, but you guys have hit the first milestone, so...
All right.
Survive the level.
Yes, no softy level 1s anymore, but of course, every level brings more danger, right? So far, battles have been, I would say, a little easy. I think that first battle last week was a little bit tougher. Today, a little bit easier, but obviously you'll get a mix of tough and not so tough.
Hey, Adam, how are you doing HP?
Yeah, so same way as normal. I think having that buffer works best. So you can roll for your HP, or actually, you know what? Let's discuss that real quick. So guys, here's what I normally do. Is you roll for your HP. If you don't like what you rolled, you can take the average. So I'm fine with that because I like the players to have a little bit more of a buffer in HP, and I don't like the idea if you say roll and you roll a 1 that that's pretty punishing overall. That's never goes away. So are you guys? Does that work for you guys? Roll if you don't like what you rolled, you take the average.
Definitely. I had a paladin or a fighter before that rolled, was like level 6 or level 7, both times rolled a 1. Let me just tell you, that sucks.
Yeah, that's not fun at all. I know
For
this
a
is
paladin, right?
Right, for a frontline. Yeah, this is a little bit of a deviation from the standard 5e rules, but I think that, is okay. Does anybody disagree with that?
So just to understand, basically, if you can only go above the average because the average
Correct.
is just one of the options you could normally take. Okay. So
Yep,
there's just
so
no
for
downside
you,
to
you roll
roll.
a 6 side. If you get a 5 or 6, great. If you don't, you're getting 4.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, that way it gives
Yeah.
you a little bit of a
Wow.
buffer built in there. And again, on my side, that means I can go a little bit tougher on the fights and not have to worry that oh yeah, someone rolled a couple of 1s and they're going to get killed by 1 hit kind of deal.
How do we roll the dice? I'm doing it now. The level
So
design
I've
sheet.
never leveled up a 2024 character before. Again, this is all new for us. So yeah, let's go ahead and close this session to an end. And then for anybody that wants to hang out and try to test that out, we can certainly do so. So thanks anybody who happens to be watching, and we'll see everybody next time.